Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, flying over the parking lot is U.S.C. 12039K2, creating light activity at State Facilitating Venue of the United States Postal Service, the office, located at 123 West Holt Boulevard. And Ontario police are group stalking again at Holt and Euclid. At 8:26 a.m., they're on traffic cameras, driving south on Euclid and then turning east on Holt Boulevard in relevant position in directed light under the fake sun that is now at the intersection of Euclid and Holt, no longer over the Ontario Village. And that location, again, is impossible to coexist with what I showed you on video inside of Andy's Burgers, where the state has positioned its fake sun 24 hours ago while I'm in there already at this time on surveillance cameras. All right. In addition to that, Ontario police group stalking at Gloria's Cochinas, which is closed at this time in the morning. They're maintaining relevant positioning while the demons are crossing paths, such as Visser bus services that is crossing path in directed light, and while this is at third-party facilitating venue Arco, located at 434 Euclid Avenue in Ontario. This is P.O.C. while H&M Hinkle is crossing path, directed light on the street while they're stalking. That's what crossing path is. They're maintaining presence on behalf of the state, maintaining that demonic environment. It is, again, 8:27 a.m. Amtrak crossing path, driving north of Euclid Avenue and then turning east onto transit right now. It is P.O.C. And it is, by the way, Friday, December 17, 2021. That is P.O.C. Let's see. 7TNM086 9339 843 Western Allied Corporation. 5BVR. I can't see the rest of that one. You can scratch that. 8MKG. I want to say 576. I believe. And that was a video documentation, by the way, that I captured of literally the demon-possessed stalking in a bathroom stall. 8DYB160, 8SMK521. The same entity stalking where I sleep, following everywhere that I go, 72010Z2. Demons and psychopaths with directed light like it's a cartoon all over the place. And they're wildly violent sex offenders stalking into the bathroom as well. That's exactly what I showed you with the Ontario police who were stalking in the path yesterday under the fake sun that remained in Ontario. All right, and moved in real time, as you saw, from the 280 North Lemon Apartment building to the Ontario Town Square / Wells Fargo building. That's what you saw while the sex offender was again stalking in the bathroom. 8CHN458, 8PHB306.
Have a good day.
34456K2. These are demons crossing path on Holt Boulevard. 8SHW075. What's my bad? Oh, that's good. You bought cookies? All right, it's 8:29 a.m. And again, I want to be clear that that ragged old geezer was engaging in relevant positioning. 6PDU914 while in relevant position monitoring me in the bathroom, 8DJH408 with Tracy Banks, who's standing in relevant positioning, listening to a stranger tell her about her supposed daughter, all right, while she's stalking in the path, talking about, I threatened this old woman. I told her she's old as dirt, and I don't care if she cloaks and dies. I'm going to prosecute her before she does so. 8YS004, and I said that on video, okay? 7L34473, I'm not mincing words with Satan, and a violent sex offender who is not hiding, has no form, through some wrinkly face, liver spot covered geezer, okay? Because that's what Satan was using, all right, with a handicap sticker on her car while she is stalking in direct light under the fake sun, all right, sitting in her car engaging in the same exact stalking conduct. You just, as yesterday as well, like I showed you, the entity, that was literally the demons of the Ontario Police Department stalking with children while they are monitoring me in the bathroom with my panties down, okay, in directed light under the fake sun, all right? That's what that was. And I also showed you what was the helicopter activity as I continue to capture those demons. That was the fury of Satan that you witnessed, 8WFZ686, prosecuting itself as I document, as I run the tape. Okay, that's what you saw under what is the fake sun. Because at that time, I still was at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which I also contrasted in that video at 11:50 a.m. As I remain at that venue, the state's fake sun is in perfect alignment with me, central over my head. 8W66986, 6YYA989, and I proceed to then walk west to the to the Ovid Family Community Library, where the state is keeping its fake sun over me the entire route. And on that day, now I'm speaking of that, which was 48 hours ago, you have what is the state keeping its fake sun over me while I travel east to the location where 24 hours ago I was already at, where the police are stalking, just like they were this morning. All right, stalking, using the roads and the highways, engaging in interstate stalking with the people of the state, engaging in interstate stalking with an old geezer who's stalking outside of the bathroom in relevant position, with the stalker that's inside of the bathroom in relevant position, crouching in a bathroom stall. That's why I capture those images, because you need to see the government engaging in what is demonic, engaging in what is sexually perverted, and what is absolutely demented. And this is the condition of the people of the state, all of them uniformly. And I'm revealing their condition and their practices. And that's why I'm going to prosecute, and that's why I call a geezer what it is. Not only is she a geezer with liver spots, an old sex offender who needs to be put away, all right, well before her time. You have what is engaging and monitoring me in violation of federal law. No, I'm not going to mince words. No, I'm not. And then you have what is incriminating everyone else while she's stalking in relevant position, monitoring me inside of the bathroom, talking about, or at least this is the audible activity of Tracy Banks, that I told her that I threatened her, which is not only is this a lie, you're monitoring. Directed light is on the ceiling above all of these demons. Directed light is on the floors around all of these demons and the walls, and the fake sun is over them, okay? So it is currently 8:32 a.m. That's P.O.C. at Ontario Village, and the fake sun is now over the B&G Plaza. Third-party Omnitrans, 78LV117. Omnitrans is 1545805, POC.
Thank you.
It is 8:40 a.m. and I'm on third-party facilitating venue Omnitrans, where the state is moving its fake sun in real time, as opposed to keeping it stationary, as I am remaining at Andy's Burgers. And I'm remaining inside of the B&G Plaza at this time 24 hours ago. And this is where the state is keeping its fake sun, in direct opposition of that, in conflict with that, impossible to coexist. JB Hunt is crossing path while the fake sun is in motion, and me keeping in on me. So this is also not sunlight, and it's not the sun that is following while I'm on the bus, while 8EZC970-43815F3, 8JMB810, they're all group stalking. I'm at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard at 8:40 in the morning, where the state's fake sun is present over the bus, aiming direct light on the bus. And also I want to document the African American. She's got a boy cut. She's a female who is driving the bus, and she is monitoring with the people of the state, representing the people of the state. License 8RGE453, I believe. It is currently 8:41 a.m. and this is the state's fake sun that is then going to be now over the Ontario Airport, which is a state facilitating venue. Impossible to coexist with remaining over the B&G Plaza, which also does not coexist, as I contrasted remaining over the Ontario Village Shopping Center, all at the same time, maintaining central presence over my head. All right, and then you're looking at what is the directed light presence as well. Directed light, which is abnormal and unnatural light conduct, while the demons both cross path and while the state fills venues with it. All right, every minion on this bus that I'm on, Route 61, is monitoring with communication devices. They are indeed stalkers. 4ZBC604. And this bus is armed with surveillance cameras. License plate 6LB 6LBX 859. FedEx is crossing paths, driving in the opposite direction. It is 8:41 a.m. This is bus number 2362. Alrighty, I did capture video of what is the state's fake son maintaining presence on the bus while the minions on the bus are monitoring, including the bus driver who's documented engaging in facilitation. This is employee number 3275. She's African-American female. At least that's what the display says. All right, Omnitrans is a sex offending, stalking, psychopath, demon possession present as they engage in the P.O.C. They being the employees at the venues as well. This is the state system, and this is rampant demon possession. And they're also aware that they're being documented. They are criminals, operating like criminals, okay? But I want to be clear, the display says 3275, and it's an African-American female with a boy haircut. And she's on video, documented engaging in P.O.C. 7UNM421, I believe. And she does so by opening up and letting off a demon-possessed group stalker at what is not a bus stop, while the fake son is present, documented on video at the arriving at the Ontario airport, which engages in touching me with directed light 81706 into 545802 into. That's Bell Cab. And understand that is conduct that is directly targeting me. It's about me, and that's also how you deduce that from what is not the son following on while I'm on the vehicle itself. This is all about me. That's terrorism. All right, and that's also sexual violence. This is the same entity that was crouching on video, stalking in the bathroom, okay? And this is the same entity that's stalking where I sleep. All right, that's the government, that's the people of the state. 8VEV322, 8W, I can't see the rest of them. And it is 8:45 a.m. Let's see, 8RZG821 is a commercial vehicle who is now crossing path. 7UBV816. They cross path again. I mean, we were on the airport grounds and now crossing path going into traffic. This is license 6VOF539, 5KXP319, and it's 8:46 a.m. Let's see, American Tire Distributors. It's a commercial vehicle. Monitoring, directed light under the bridge while demons are stalking in traffic. Laughing because it's pathetic. Showing what are a whole bunch of stalkers. All right, the bus is being driven by a stalker. Okay, she was literally stalking with light by using the bus. That's what that's documentation of. When you see her opening and closing the door, it's a method of creating light while she's stalking, and doing so was simultaneous to my beginning to capture video. She's stalking with light, and she's touching with it. All right, as that is impossible, light never going to occur. But this is how the demon possessed with the government engage in molesting. That's a demon that you're looking at, that you're listening to as I'm documenting her on video. 4PB532. And that's documentation that she provided me because she's a stalker, and that's the demonic conduct of stalking with light, by the way. It's occurring on the venue of a vehicle. All right, the same thing when they're driving by. It's the same. It's a different method because they're driving by while I'm stationary, and they're touching while they're driving by with absolutely impossible light occurring while that is underway. It's stalking with light. It is a specific signature of, first of all, demon possession, a psychopath, all right, and a stalker on behalf of a state. No ordinary stalker. Obviously, you're demon possessed, but you're talking about a vicarious group stalker. 8PZ. I can't see the rest of it. That's a group stalker, stalking with the state, that is practicing a satanic targeting system while they're monitoring with communication devices. 7CTJ979. And Bell Cab is in traffic too. This is Archibald headed toward Inland Empire at 8:49 a.m. 8DHH 765. And this is Frito-Lay. I didn't get that whole license plate, but it's a Frito-Lay truck carrying a McKinney trailer. That was a license plate that started with 4PB. I didn't get the whole license plate. It's Frito-Lay though. City of Ontario group stalking on Archibald. Just sitting at the freeway entrance, just sitting in the car. I'm sorry, in the truck. License 8VOJ351 is crossing path on Archibald. After remaining stationary in traffic, this is where they're just keeping their vehicle in alignment to my window, and then they cross path. In doing so, while City of Ontario 8KKM106 provides light while they're sitting on the side of the 10 freeway on the bridge on Archibald. 7TAF038. and they just have their lights on, 8XVZ419, and you have what I showed you yesterday while I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library. All of those Demons and City of Ontario trucks, they're doing the same thing while I'm in transit. All right, that's what they're doing while I'm at the library. They're pacing around. They're literally a bunch of cockroaches in municipality vehicles. As you look at them, they're like all piled on in directed light under the fake sun that's over the 280 North Limit Apartments as I arrive at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's exactly what the municipality is doing. They're stalkers. License plate while they're sitting on the side of the freeway. Let's see, license plate 8GRJ897, 8 LAS 829, 8 ERM. I can't see the rest of them. And this is the airport, Gateway Plaza, where I'm at as well, across the street from the Mobile. This is Inland Empire in Archibald, where P.O.C is underway. 8WXE879. That announcement is audible activity under the fake sun and indirected light. And they also use that same announcement method as a means of stalking with audible activity. 8VO2181. Sorry, that's 8Z02191. At Via Molinara and Inland Empire, this community referred to as Parkside, where you had them engaging in light activity creation at the bus stop, 8AJP421, I believe. And that was pre-planned. It's positioning while they're stalking with light, and another stalker is at the bus stop waiting for the stalker to stop and let them on the bus. They're all stalking together. All right, this is that community, and it is just so for purposes of illustration where I'm at, because I documented that before, just a few days ago when I was headed toward Fontana. Passing Turner and Inland Empire. And all right, so let me just reiterate something. My ability to capture what I have already shown, stalking with light, but I just want to let me break this down. Because not only am I showing you what is stalking with light, I'm also drawing those, the ongoing analysis is showing what is wrong with those who are engaging in the P.O.C. What are you deducing from all of this? What it is irreducibly revealing, okay? First of all, this is not the sun. Understand, I remain at the B&G Plaza. I'm inside of Andy's Burgers, and you are looking at light on the ceiling, light covering on the inside, light activity on the ceiling, okay? Not just light present there, but dynamic light on the ceiling. Equally impossible. That's called terrorism, all right? And that's called stalking with light. Moving light all around inside of that Andy's Burgers, all right? And while I'm also showing you what is the fake sun that is aimed on me while I'm inside, aimed on me while I move outside or around in the parking lot, and as I remain at that B&G Plaza, okay? And I remain at this time where I'm showing you the fake sun that is moving in real time over the Ontario airport. That in and of itself is showing what is stalking with light, all right? Yesterday, the fake sun is directly over, because that's not the sun, so I'm not even going to pause it, all right? But this is just understanding what am I showing you. This is stalking with light, which is entirely demonic, and this is practiced by government. You have what is, again, not the sun, not capable of being documented in video, remaining in the window of a vehicle that's in motion to a different city, while I am both at the same time stationary 24 hours ago at one address, okay? And the state is moving its fake sun at that one address all throughout the B&G Plaza. As I'm at Andy's Burgers, and then as I move to the Ultra Personnel, you see a distinct difference with the location, okay? Because I'm not usually inside of Andy's Burgers, and that's how you see the specific tailored location of that fake sun and the placement of what is directed light. And what else are you understanding? Not only is the Ontario Police already established, but this is the ongoing analysis. Not only is this not the sun that I'm showing you, just comparison between 2 days, it's in motion necessarily and remaining over me, and this is that which I've already shown, okay? This is the state's fake sun that remains at that B&G Plaza And then I go to the Ovid Family Community Library, showing you, again, what is not the sun, while I'm capturing the sex offenders that are the Ontario police under that fake sun that remains in the city of Ontario, over the 280 North Limit apartments. Not possible to ever be captured earlier in the day over the Ontario airport if that was actually the sun, okay? And this is the ongoing and so on of what is analysis of stalking with light, all right? The intentional conduct, which is terrorism and sexual violence by this group stalker that is driving the bus, intentionally opening the door to let off another group stalker to monitor me, to terrorize me, to sexually violate your touching while you're stalking with the government, while the fake sun is remaining over me in the window of the bus that you're driving. All right, in doing so pursuant to a criminal behavior pattern intended to monitor me in violation of Title 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. Okay, I'm sorry, Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. All right, this is monitoring conduct. It's also demonic activity, which is terrorism and sexual violence while they're touching with this directed light. All right, in doing so, that's what that conduct is revealing, a demon and also a criminal who is terrorizing with each other, both the patron and the driver, under that which is not the sun, and that with which is not even sunlight. Okay, every tool used by this demonic entity is out of the pit of hell, literally. Okay, and you are seeing demons in operation who are engaging in criminal activity, targeting together. Okay, and so that's the ongoing analysis, and that's that common sense aspect of what you are witnessing as I capture video at around 8:40 in the morning of the fake sun that is at the Ontario airport, which is east of the Andy's Burgers, being aimed directly on me. And that vantage point of that directed light, the moving all around of that directed light, the remaining of that fake sun over my head at that part of the parking lot, and remaining, remember, as I stay in Ontario and go to the Ovid Family Community Library. Okay, and then it's over Wells Fargo. I'm never going to capture that. All right, and that's just yesterday, because the fake sun was remaining the day before over the Ontario Village Shopping Center, in which I contrasted with the day that it remained over the B&G Plaza earlier in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and it remains over the B&G Plaza. That's stalking with light, and it is irreducible direct evidence of monitoring by government. HCWN, I can't see the rest of that one. That is P.O.C. Okay, it is currently 8:57 a.m.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible, favor usar la puerta trasera.
UZW258 at Milliken and Inland Empire at 8:57 in the morning. BZR 946. Fake sign over the Ontario Mills. Merchants, landscaping, group stalking on Inland Empire at the entrance of the Ontario Mills.
Ontario Mills Transit Center. Service to routes 61, 81, 82, 290, and RDA.
6UFX. I can't really see the rest of them.
Federal law requires man to stop ordering and stops. No mask, no ride.
It is 8:59 a.m. All right, it's 9 a.m. Showing you what is the state's fake sun at the Ontario Mills and molesting with what is directed light. All right, that is maintaining perfect presence with me and touch my body, while you have what is traditional stalking by a group stalker, ongoing documentation of that as well, which is captured on the video. You'll familiarize yourself with the predator. License plate 8XYK688, 7BYA964. But it's the same analysis with any third party where the government is stalking with commercial means. The target individual is easily able to identify such methods of stalking, and that is the same traditional stalking by a group stalker, which is an enhanced act of terrorism, if you will, while you're documenting it. And that's why you just document who's monitoring, who's in relevant position, however you can identify them. All right, because they're not going to want that identification in the times with which you are documenting that while you're stalking on behalf of a government and sexually violating. All right, so anyway, it's 9:01 a.m.
2022 for federal regulations. Thanks for your cooperation.
Passing what is Buffalo? Yeah, Buffalo at 4th Street.
Mills Drive.
Seven BFK 026. 8XK A436. It is, by the way, 9:03 a.m.
West Valley Detention Center.
So we're passing Barrington and Etowanda, Barrington and 4th Street, approaching Etowanda. And this is where the fake sun is en route to, okay, traveling east to maintain alignment with me, while contrary to what it did yesterday, as I showed, which I also contrasted with what the state did on December 8th when it's remaining west of that location of the B&G Plaza, where I documented Walmart showing what is demon possession, monitoring American citizens, harassing those who are enforcing their constitutional rights. All right, while it is very far from B&G Plaza, that does not coexist. All right, and then you're contrasting that with what I already showed in the city of Fontana at the Fontana Police Department. This is on opposite sides. The city of Fontana, again, is east of the city of Ontario, where I'm at the Walmart at 1 1333 North Mountain Avenue, and this is at around 8:30 in the morning. And then I have, remember, American Medical Response with that line of laser light moving across the curb while they're stalking, driving in front of the vehicle that I'm in, where the fake sun is on Mountain Avenue at 5th Street where it remains, and the same entity that I'm documenting that's crouching in bathrooms, that's stalking where I sleep, crossing paths, as I captured that on video. You're going to remember that as well. And then I proceed to walk through Upland, all right? And the state kept its fake sun. That's in direct conflict with remaining over B&G Plaza. And what the state is doing is providing an ongoing tutorial of what the government is doing, which is stalking with light, which is absolutely satanic. That was Satan that you witnessed in video, flying that helicopter in a circle in slow motion, while I captured Satan keeping its back to me, wearing an Ontario police vest. Hostile, monitoring and stalking and terrorizing, and hostile because I'm documenting it on video. That was Satan. That's demon possession. 61451C1, 8PVU713, and that is in conflict with being over Etowanda and 4th Street, heading east, a city east of Ontario, where it remained yesterday, as I showed you. All right, 11:50 in the morning, and then moving in tow with me as I move from the library to the Ontario Town Square Wells Fargo location, showing you what is the demon possession, stalking, and sexual violence of the Ontario Police Department. Right now, earlier in the day, the state's fake sun is moving east. All right, that is stalking with light. The bus driver opening up the door of the back, having no conversation. These are demons acting together. She didn't say, oh, can you let me off here? 8EML253. And let alone, let me be clear, they have bus stops, and I've shown you where they are targeting me, not even letting me on the bus when I'm standing at a bus stop. Okay, making up bus stops, stopping around me in relevant position as those psychopaths serving Satan, identified as a company name to be prosecuted as such, are listening to me document them. Okay, and you're doing so in order to not only engage in monitoring with communication devices, because you're a demon that is also touching with directed light under that which is not even the sun. That's what I captured on video. So I just want to make sure I reiterate that. Okay. 07849A1. That is ABF. It's a commercial vehicle at San Bernardino Avenue and Commerce Drive. It is 9:07 a.m. All right, showing you what is the state's movement with its fake sun as she drives from San Bernardino Avenue, which the ordinary route for Route 61, the ordinary path for Route 61 is remaining on San Bernardino Avenue. Okay, they are engaging in a pattern of deviating from that published route, and it is serving for that criminal purpose. And there's no form. I'm showing you what is the fake sun that's remaining in the window. And again, everything that they are engaging in is for that purpose. Even when they engage in continuing that, which is supposed to be the form, oh, it's not about that target individual because we're doing it when she's not on the bus. That's exactly what the entity's false premise relies on. The state's fake sun is remaining over me regardless, and you have what is engaging in deviating from a path as opposed to driving straight down San Bernardino Avenue while the entity is acting via these venues, these truck stops, these venues over here that are maintaining light, and the state is keeping its fake sun. And I'm showing you what is the 10 West Freeway as well, so you're going to want to pay attention to that. This is how far the state is deviating with that which is the fake sun as opposed to remaining stationary over the B&G Plaza. 8LMP190 stalking at the traffic light at Calabash. 8D85611. I can't really see the rest of them. This is Velocity Truck Center where they're monitoring at Calabash. They're monitoring there, and this is the same one where I documented what was the creation of light activity on the previous morning where I was going to Fontana. This is not long ago, and the truck was used as a means of light activity on this street. All right, it is P.O.C. under any circumstances. You're dealing with demons, and you're dealing with what is a state system, okay? One that is unspoken, and so you're going to force you're going to force what is Satan to reveal its hands by virtue of its engagement in the P.O.C. and where it's engaging in the P.O.C. in an absolutely abnormal and unnatural environment, which is direct evidence. All right, out of the mouth of a demon-possessed stalker, literally Satan itself is a liar. Okay. You're going to prosecute the psychopaths under their fake sun and their directed light and their amplified audible activity. You're going to prosecute them, all right, including the government, for being a violent sex offender at that. It is currently 9:11 a.m. back on San Bernardino Avenue, where the state kept its fake sun. She deviated, going onto Commerce Drive, making a U-turn at Calabash, coming back up to San Bernardino Avenue, and to proceed on San Bernardino, where the state's fake sun is remaining. Very precise to the bus, where I am on the bus. Okay, P.O.C. 8VFH021, I believe. Can't really see that. The rest of that one. Huh? It is 9:12 a.m.
Cherry Avenue.
CSI, that's a trucking company, or at least they have a bunch of trucks on their property. They're sitting in their trucks, maintaining light activity. They're studying their communication devices. I could see while I'm sitting on the bus. 25867 E2. I can't really see the rest of that one. At Cherry Avenue and San Bernardino Avenue. It's called CSI. It says main truck entrance. They're monitoring at that property, and they're maintaining presence in the path. It's a systematic monitoring while the state's stalking within environment, the people of the state, and that is another venue, okay, where you are looking at them stalking in the path. 09771F2. And that license plate again is 25867E9, I believe. 8TWF109. Malawa Trans Incorporated. I don't see any license plate on that, but directed light on the asphalt on the ground beside my window while they're driving by at Cherry and San Bernardino, making a turn. At that turn signal, that was Malawa, directed light. All of them crossing in the shade. The same conduct I've shown you when I'm on, sitting at the bus stop or standing outside. Directed light across me, across the brick wall in the shade. Very targeted to where I am at. You don't see any directed light until they approach me. All right, those are demon-possessed stalkers who are also listening to me document and identify these truck stops, which are venues such as Prologis, such as Velocity, and such as CSI. 61425B3.
Redwood Street.
It is 9:14 a.m. Transport, stalking with light. It's in front of their vehicle, aiming toward me while they're driving on the opposite side of the road, in the shade. All right, that's how far the Alliance is going to touch. And that's a demon that is stalking. The same demonic entity that's crouching in the bathroom this morning, as I showed you on video, stalking in the bathroom. All right, that's how, as I'm identifying commercial actors engaging in stalking with light, this is exactly what they are doing, stalking in bathrooms, crouching in bathroom stalls. Imagine that. That's why I show you in video, because that's exactly what the government is doing, and you need to see it with your own eyes. That's exactly why I document that. It is 9:17 a.m. 6UKP330, stalking with activity. 8D115Y2. 8AKU, I can't say that one. 3TTV425, I believe. 93131B1. I can't let me see that one. It's 917 still. What is San Bernardino Avenue and I believe Sheldon. YAKD68. And by stalking with activity, that is simultaneity of conduct, of presence, which is activity creation as I make a move. 5XFN. I can't see the rest of one. And that's the demonic behavioral pattern, right? And then you have also what you're also paying attention to. And so that's what I'm citing when I'm speaking of stalking with light. At the same time, these are demons that are hovering, okay? And you have what is that demon that is stalking with activity, and that is again driving by at the same moment that I begin moving. This is not a coincidence. This is stalking conduct. Not only stalking physically, stalking audibly, stalking visually with any sort of visible activity, including light activity. Okay, and this is why you also have what is directed light that coexists with their presence. Totally impossible light. Where is this laser light coming from? You're talking about demons and they're psychopaths. All right, and this is the system that they're engaging in is absolutely satanic. And I also want to document what is the entity that is 7RNB713. They are filling the bus in relevant position. All of them are monitoring on surveillance cameras on this bus while I'm documenting license plates in relevant position and the driver. I'm documenting omnitans as well. They're all on the bus stalking. All right, that's P.O.C, so I want to document that. That goes without question, but I'm just being thorough in my documentation. They're all on the bus, getting on and off pursuant to what I'm doing. Stalking, it's activity creation. They are the same third party stalking in traffic under the fake sun that remains at the B&G Plaza at this time. They are on the bus while the state is moving its fake sun to remain over. This is the same exact P.O.C, okay? And I'm passing San Bernardino Avenue and Elm. It's 9:19 a.m. ETJ116. CR England. It's a truck. They're monitoring crossing path.
Catawaba Street.
Understand with regard to the documentation of many of these truck companies, these trucking companies and these truck drivers, with regard to existing federal legislation, I've pointed out, first of all, they're in violation of both subsections 1 and 2. They are, by virtue of the existence of a state system that is in ceaseless operation, you have what is, and it's not particular to only truck drivers, but these are those who are frequently crossing state lines, and I want to make sure I specify this. This is why and how the entity is engaging in violation of both subsections. This is one of the methods whereby, because you also have those that are crossing state lines, if whether they live in California or not, and they're out here in California monitoring, and you are coming into the venue of the state of California with the intent to monitor and stalk an American citizen, all right, and where you are documented, that is in violation of 2261A, all right. These truck drivers that are engaging in business and engaging in interstate commerce in doing so, they are entering, crossing state lines with the intent to harass, with the intent to intimidate. You're doing so by virtue of representing third parties, which are the people of the state. This is how you are understanding what is both the legislation that I advocate and the existing federal law. And this is how it is working together. First of all, existing federal legislation is satisfied because they are crossing state lines and they are monitoring with communication devices on behalf of the government, and you are doing so with the intent to do so. They are monitoring statewide, okay? And so as I am encountering them and I'm documenting them, they are in violation of both subsections. I want to point that out because I have cited both subsections, and that is another understanding how that is applicable. Both subsections are an ongoing ceaseless violation, and these truck drivers, they're a main aspect of that, okay? And they are engaging in the state system and using these commercial vehicles. They represent the people of the state. This is also relevant to the policy that I advocate. All right, you are entering into the state of California, where the state is maintaining this system and doing so with knowledge, and doing so maliciously, because this is supposed to be hidden because you're using some commercial brands such as Amazon Prime, and it's not ever supposed to be suspected, nor could it be plausibly posited that you're a stalker. No, it's absolutely ridiculous, and I have shown you what is the entirety of that pattern of conduct and all the malicious avenues that are used and executed in order to conceal what is a government system, and it's not concealed anymore. You're literally looking at the psychopath. So you're going to run the tape with the fake sun and directed light while they're engaging in the P.O.C, thinking that they're hidden. All right, they know they're not hidden anymore, so you're revealing what is a psychopath. All right, you're talking about grounds of punishment now because the secret is out. All right, they're going to end up in federal prison. They're going to end up in a straitjacket because you're revealing what is already a threat to the public. You're a demon-possessed psychopath. You're stalking as an entity. All right, this is a demented people. This is public corruption. And then you're talking about those that go the extra mile and engage in showing what is an absolute, I mean, you are not operating with all marbles. All right, and not in any way that's removing criminal responsibility. This is not insanity. This is psychopath conduct. All right, so you're talking about a violent threat posed that already exists. You're enhancing that threat while you are monitoring one, and it is directly revealed what you are doing. There's no question, okay? So you document that threat as they continue to pose it, all right? Because the secret is out, all right? What the government is doing and who you're doing it with, everything about these demons that surround is exposed. So that's the ongoing, and that's exactly how you're going to prosecute what is Satan. You're going to prosecute it using its own guise under which it formerly thought it could conceal itself. You're going to use that same guise to prosecute and punish it, because that's an unlawful threat. It is 9:24 a.m. We are at, by the way, Juniper and San Bernardino Avenue. We're at 9:25 a.m. This is nowhere near being anywhere near at the B&G Plaza. Okay? And that goes without saying. This is P.O.C.
Hi, Omnitrans writers. Share your moment and tag @Omnitrans in your daily commutes. You just might be featured on our social media pages. Like always, remember to stay safe, sanitize your hands regularly, and wear your mask while on the bus. Learn more at omnitrans.org.
Turning onto Juniper from San Bernardino Avenue. 7TGK151 is stalking at the stoplight. 8TCM594, 8RDV463. These are venues, facilitating venues where the people of the state live in relevant position, where the state is dragging its fake sun over systematic monitoring.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
It's 9:26 a.m. This is what's so funny. Remember, just maybe less than 10 days ago, while I'm at 5th Street and Mountain, and then I go to Walmart, where the state has its fake sun over my head, and I'm showing the state's fake sun is in Fontana over my head, while and maintaining this presence as she's turning on street to street to street to street. All right, and that's what I'm saying with regard to the clear documentation of what is stalking, with that which is an incredible method by a government, stalking with an entirely fake light source over your head. And that is documentation that's required in order to establish it, because it is that which is so demented that no one would believe that, but for documentation. And this is why I do refer to it as demon-proof documentation. And it is showing what is wrong with those who surround you. They're demon-possessed psychopaths who are engaging in hovering psychopath-level stalking.
Stop requested.
And that's the condition, the uniform condition of the people of the state. No matter how dirt old they are, which is what I documented today. A dirt old sex offender monitoring me, surveilling me in the bathroom, stalking in relevant position, tracking my steps in relevant position while I showed you the fake sun in the parking lot over her, while she pulls out her handicap sticker like it's some form, and it's not. She's a sex offender that hasn't been identified as such in all her years. It's a long time coming. It's 9:28 a.m. It is 9:28 a.m. Alright, I just captured video so you can see, first of all, what is directed light appearing on the inside of the bus. Again, absolutely impossible light activity. That's why I termed it that. There's no other way that you can call something other than what it is, especially when it's unheard of, all right? And so that's why it is referred to as ILA, impossible light activity. And it is also referencing what is not only impossible, it's referencing what is of the demonic. It is also the specific signature to stalking. And that is what I am subject to while I'm on the venue, while the people of the state are patrolling all around and monitoring in concert, while the fake sun is over the, first of all, aiming through the bus, directed light stationary on the bus, and also directed light while they are crossing path, they being the people of the state, knowing exactly who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing also. And then you have what is showing at Sierra and Foothill. I'm sorry, not Sierra and Foothill, excuse me, Sierra and Marigold. As I captured that in video, 6ZBH485, 6TGT077, 8PMP041, 52543K1. And I'm showing you what is the fake sun, 8TZP518, 8LNS211. This is speaking to what is monitoring at the venue of what is Kaiser Permanente. The Starbucks is at the corner. The Del Taco with the Rite Aid, that's a plaza on the opposite side of that street. What is also the plaza that is anchored by the El Spur. They're all monitoring. And that is documentation of what is the placement of the fake sun in direct conflict with where I am 24 hours ago, maintaining that same central presence over me, okay? Stalking with directed light. 5YVT445, and while it remains in the city of Ontario yesterday, which you also know because I step out at 11:50 a.m. because the same entity is stalking and crouching in a bathroom stall while the fake sun is remaining over the 280 North Limit Apartments. And that was specifically the personnel of the demon-possessed Ovid Family Community Library employees stalking and monitoring with the Ontario police who are in relevant position outside of the bathroom, knowing exactly where I am, and acting with the people of the state in guardianship of children, which they are including in that sexually violent and terrorizing pattern of conduct, right? And that's also the ongoing indication of what is what I've already shown, but the state's fake sun indeed stayed in Ontario. And this is the state's fake sun in the city of Fontana, remaining over me, okay? And these demons on the bus are all stalking, maintaining presence on behalf of the government, monitoring with communication devices in what is directed light. 6TEF512.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
98930S2.
definitely. I got a couple people.
It's 9:33 a.m.
Okay, most definitely. I'm going to cut it out right now.
Randall Avenue.
Okay. What's up, bro?
Federal law requires masks on board, and it stops. No mask, no ride.
It's 9:34 a.m.
Merrill Avenue.
Just like you heard, approaching Merrill Avenue on Sierra. And the state is keeping its fake sun, is driving north of Sierra, keeping it right over the bus. And this is how it's going to be over me at the Fontana Metrolink train station, 8CNL 967, 8WWE 792. And the demons are just monitoring in traffic, monitoring at venues. You've got literal demons that know this is a vast state system. And I see what are absolute strangers, right? Engaging in the P.O.C, standing around studying their communication devices, which is the P.O.C when the state is stalking with directed light and a fake sun. All right? When absolute strangers are driving past you and directed light is covering all over the ground, it is the P.O.C. All right? And that is speaking to how vast it is. And there is no exception, all right? That's what I'm looking at right now at the Carl's Jr. at Sierra and Merrill Avenue. They're monitoring. I mean, they all are, but I'm just speaking to what is the ongoing observation of what is an indiscriminate condition of what is demon possession. It's a demonic system, and what is an indiscriminate group stalking by a people of the state, okay? A people. What is, we have Orangeway and Sierra at 9:37 a.m. See, 1399983. That's Route 66, bus 1269. Directed light while they are stalking me on the bus, coming from the Fontana Metrolink train station at 9:38 a.m. P.O.C. Alrighty, showing you video not only of the fake sun, but you're looking at the people of the state, the bus filled with demons, all having double shadows while they are patrolling off of the bus in relevant position. Alright, the same exact P.O.C. License 1545805, bus 2362, driven by that African-American female whose employee number I already referenced, and also engaging in the criminal P.O.C, sexual violence and monitoring on video as well. Meaning affirmatively acting, opening up that bus while I'm showing you the fake sun at the Ontario airport. Yep. License 1399983, bus, I'm sorry, this is Route 66, and it is 9:40 a.m. All right, license 1399983, I'm showing you what is video while I am present, and you are looking at what are demons that are monitoring and representing what is the company, which is the state's commercial means of stalking and monitoring an American citizen, terrorizing an American citizen. And that is revealed now through what is documenting a public entity that's engaging in the satanic targeting system. And all the ways in which that you're going to prosecute for all the methods of sexual violence and stalking and terrorism that are executed by the system that's in operation and through the people, okay? And so that's what's relevant with regard to the conduct of omnitrans, and I'm showing you what it is in video, and you're going to just go back 24 hours. But like I said, not even 2 days ago, December 8th, I am on Mountain Avenue. I'm still being subject to what is harassment by Walmart inside of that venue, and I step out at around 9:56 in the morning where the state's fake sun is over my head, over that entrance with directed light inside of that venue. You're talking about the state keeping its fake sun over that B&G Plaza on Hope Boulevard at 7:31 a.m. You're looking at the video while the state is moving its fake sun while she's driving. She being Tracy Banks, she is driving east on Hope Boulevard, and it is moving in real time to keep in alignment with me through the window of that car, and I arrive at that B&G Plaza at 7:31 in the morning, and it remains there. And this is me in Fontana. This is that ongoing impossibility of that which is not the sun, maintaining central presence over me. All right, this is the ubiquitous presence of the zenith of this light source, which is not the sun. All right, this is what the state of California is practicing, and the state of California is not the only one. And it is, in other words, the government of, first of all, the state government of Nevada, they're not ignorant about what the state of California is doing. Okay, this is what I'm saying, and it's implausible, it's unrealistic. When you are breaking ground like this with what the government is doing in California, these state governments that are adjacent to California, they're not ignorant. I'm revealing to you what the government is doing. Okay, it is known that the state of California is not keeping a sun over, literally the documentation is showing the state is keeping it over me where I am. That's impossible. And like I said, Nevada would never get any sun. And also, let me be clear, the state government of Nevada, they're not ignorant about what California is doing with that which is not the sun. Okay, because Nevada and the state of California are obviously not under the same light source. Okay, that's the state engaging in targeting, hovering with light sources, monitoring American citizens. It's not it's not unique to the state of California, and it is upon realizing and understanding what the government is doing with stalking with light. It's a means of monitoring, but understand the government that's monitoring, the government that is engaging in monitoring is a demon-possessed entity. This is satanic at its core. So the inspiration, if you will, of stalking and monitoring particular American citizens is based on that which is satanic at its core. All right, this is a government that is devoted in serving Satan, engaging in the purposes of what is absolutely wicked and evil. And you can see that through the engagement in the criminal elements. All right, license 1545945. That's Route 66, bus 2361, leaving the Fontana Metrolink train station. You are understanding where monitoring is underway. This is revealing what is a demon-possessed people that are monitoring with the government. That coincides. The government's not only monitoring, the government is monitoring via the people of the state. And the entity that is monitoring is demon possessed. And the state of California is not the only government that is engaging in this. Okay? License BP32W39. And by the way, it's 9:45 a.m. At 9:46 a.m., I'm still at the Fontana train station. At 9:46 a.m., a few days ago, which I believe was December 11th, 2021, the state's fake sun, I'm sorry, December 13th, 2021, the state's fake sun is directly over my head while I'm at the venue of the Fontana Police Department. I am, even in the city of Fontana, showing you what is the impossible coexistence of the central presence of this light source over my head, which I was also contrasting in the city of Ontario, 8WTW964, because this also is impossible to coexist with remaining over my head in the city of Ontario, as I've shown. And then when I go to Fontana, you have what is this light source that's over my head. But what about when I'm in Ontario at the Walmart on December 8th. And at this time, I'm remaining inside of that venue of the Walmart. I don't step out until approximately around this time, 9:46, 9:50 something. And the state's fake sun is over my head, which I show you at the intentional time of 10 o'clock in the morning. And then after that, I walk up the street through Upland, California, where I showed you picture by picture, video after video, the fake sun that remained over my head. But then I can go to the Fontana Police Department, okay, which is a substantial distance east, all right? That's not the same, and you are not going to have the sun that's going to maintain presence over your head, centered over you, all right? And also what is not occurring, because that's not sunlight, that's directed light that I'm also documenting, stalking with light, demonic. The government is monitoring, the people are monitoring. The law enforcement agency, that is the Fontana Police Department, is monitoring, and I documented it at their venue. It's referred to as a state facilitating venue where the P.O.C. was underway. 8FFL311, and that demon-possessed stalker with a smile on his face, giving me his badge number, telling me his identity. Guess what? That's audible activity in relevant position while he's monitoring. It is equally a terrorizing threat with knowledge of the fact that I'm documenting, and it is no less the P.O.C. Because he knows that I am documenting him. I am revealing what is the systematic engagement in a state system. It does not matter what your identity is. It matters what your position and identity is for purposes of the ways in which you will be removed from any threat that you're posing, monitoring with the government in positions that they have no business in. It's public corruption that I'm revealing. 5TWA429, amongst the demon possessed. All right, monitoring in violation of federal law. 8JNH269, while they're practicing satanic conduct. 5WTJ832, inherently, okay? This is inherently conduct that is revealing of a people, okay, which you can slice down, but this is conduct that is pathetic, all right? You are crouching in bathrooms, stalking somebody. All right, that's not only is it weird, it is entirely pathetic. You are pathetic in your existence, in your non-life. That's not a life. 7XIZ104. Their entire existence is centered on me, including the government that's operating the system. You are dragging a fake sun in the sky. Everything I do, you are centered. I am the center of their universe. And they're demons. They're inferior. 6YEN175. And that's what I mean. But that level of being pathetic, that level of being a sex offender, because that's what you are. You are pathetic, and you are entirely a perverted, sex-offending stalker. That's why you are understanding the importance of looking at the people stalking in the bathroom stall, crouching while they are monitoring and stalking me while I am using the toilet. Okay, and doing so in concert with the state, which you see yesterday, flying in circles over in helicopter while the police are stalking me while my panties are down. That's what they were doing. That's the ongoing P.O.C. Entirely pathetic. They're demons wearing uniforms they have no business wearing. In conflict with the state's fake sun that I captured at 9:56 in the morning, east of that city of Ontario, in the city of Fontana, where the state has documented engaging in keeping its fake sun in the city of Fontana. So it does not follow that the state's fake sun is all of a sudden remaining at the Ovid Family Community Library after it's at the city of Fontana over the Fontana Police Department. 7UDE742, Latinos, monitoring in operation of their communication device, 5UZJ051, and I'm only mentioning that race because those are the type that you ship out of this country. All right, if they're monitoring an American citizen with the government, 8XAY520, engaging in sexual violence and terrorism with the company, all of them stalking together, doing so while they're all together demons, inferior, stalking me in a bathroom, okay, listening to me pull my panties up and down, using helicopters because everything that I am doing is the center, at the core of their existence. They're inferior, they're demons at their purest form. This is what is wrong with them, and this is what their system is based on. Stalking and monitoring one who is not of that inferior condition, which is demon possession. Okay, and that is prosecuted as terrorism by the government, while those demon-possessed government actors are operating this monitoring system in concert with the people of the state in a terrorizing environment, serving that criminal purpose. All right, it is currently 9:50 a.m. and this is the state's fake sun, which I'm going to show you because it's remaining over this venue where I'm staying at, the Fontana Metrolink train station, where the speaker on the bus is the means of audible activity. These demons are monitoring in traffic while the red light is on the ground while they cross path 6929 OG2. Route 82 is in front of me. Route 61 is beside me. Route 66 is right behind. And these demons that are doing nothing but stalking and monitoring, acting like it's ordinary society, and it's not. They're demented in every regard. It is 9:51 a.m. Let me get you Route 82 that's leaving. License 1545799, stalking the entire time. Alrighty, I did show you that video, 9:53 a.m. Showing you what are literally inferior and pathetic in their existence. Everything they're doing is about me. and failing at acting like they're doing anything other than stalking and monitoring and maintaining presence. They're all in directed light while they're coking and joking around under the fake sun. Psychopaths, okay? Pacing around in that directed light while Metrolink crosses path, which is a means of activity creation. And I'm showing you also, again, 24 hours ago, while I am preparing to leave the B&G Plaza, walking to the Ontario Open Family Community Library, where the state has documented its fake sun is over my head, because I showed you what is Southwest Airlines hovering over me, over that parking lot, while the fake sun is right there. Direct movement from remaining at the B&G Plaza. And this sky space while I'm at the Fontana Metrolink train station is not the sky space over the City Hall parking lot in the city of Ontario. It is not the same. That is necessary movement under that which is not the sun, and they're all in directed light, like I already showed you, and they're all monitoring together on with their communication devices, with their phones, focused on me, Satan, the inferior, pathetic creatures who have no form, none whatsoever. And that's what I captured in video. It's literally pathetic, and they're the same ones that are crouching in toilet stalls stalking. 8VJT594. It's absolutely pathetic, and that's why you just document, because you're going to prosecute. And it is a sure prosecution. 7UAA041. Bus 1201 is leaving, driving with their hazards on. That's light activity. Bus 61, directed light. That's the fat black male who you see pacing in directed light, now touching with directed light. Again, that's license 1545907. I captured them on video under the fake sun, while Metrolink is a means of audible activity. Omnitrans is maintaining presence, engaging in stalking conduct in the path, while standing at the corner of Sierra and Orangeway. This is the same one I showed you on video, who was driving Route 66. He's with his communication device, maintaining presence in the field. All right, this is for purposes as I walk down the sidewalk, which the fake sun is remaining over my head while I do so. I just want to show you what is the image of the stalker, and that's exactly what he's doing. State's fake sun is moving, and he is maintaining presence in the path. That's what group stalking is. License 1302445, bus number 1333. Route 67, Chaffey College, at least that's what it says. These demons change their signage. They are literally criminals. They even act like criminals. You're talking about getting way outside of their form of what's supposed to be normal society when you break ground like I have. And they, Omnitrans has been documented engaging in conduct just like criminals. Okay, changing their signage as they know I'm documenting them, and the conduct that they engage in. They're psychopaths and sex offenders. Okay, while they're stalking, they want to touch. Okay, want to touch real bad. License 7FSA959. Why else are they sex offenders? Because this entity wants to stalk in the bathroom. Cannot get enough of Erica Lorraine Spencer. 8PCJ516. 8LNJ200. 6EBV008. And remember, I'm documenting an entity. 31717R17 TMW565 8XOY704 5DCY 689 8FSD452 8WFT228 8P50975 8WGE913 8HPW524 63980G2 6RVB092 78475R1. Monitoring with a minor, 7UCA723. That looks like a Latina female who has a little kid while she's stalking and monitoring. 8MYD501. That's engaging in terrorism and including children in the P.O.C., just like you saw the sex offenders doing yesterday at the Open Family Community Library. They are engaged in the P.O.C. The police are using them as form. They are in relevant position. All right, they are engaging in monitoring as I am standing outside. Those minions, those little children, are creating activity while they are under what is directed light. And as you see the fake sun movement, they are in every way included in the P.O.C. You have what is the people of the state routinely including their children, and then they go home after they engage in sexual violence, terrorism, with the government, and then fixing up mac and cheese for their kids. And you're going to in every way address that. BM87E20. All right, thinking they can engage in being a sex offender, engaging in being a stalker, engage in being a terrorist, 1479509. All right, and then going home with their little kids in tow. No, you're going to rectify that, every single last ounce of that, because any other group stalker is going to want to make sure that they're not documented, and certainly that their kids have nothing to do with it, because you're going to lose them. You're going to lose your kids. License. Oh, hiding it. 7EVX944. FJ151. Omnitrans. 1558062. 7BXW528. Vertex crossing path. 4XEC117. 376NS handicap. 6YRZ544. 8PNJ440. 8RTP884. 8AOU761. 8DTB423. 6WPG842. 6JYJ209. 8YBY114, 8TBV675, 7BU, I can't see the rest of them, License 8FPE 556 or 8. It's either an F or an E. I can't really see that she was covering up the bottom of the plates. She's nonetheless a jolly looking stalker. 08318 H2, I believe, substantially summary. That's American medical response, a readily identified and heavily documented demon-possessed stalker engaging in terrorism under the fake sun that's at Orange Way and Sierra in the city of Fontana, nowhere near what is the intersection where American medical response was stalking at 8-something in the morning, where the fake sun was remaining over me and directed light was on the curb while American medical response was stalking in front of the vehicle. All right, and that is the incontrovertible evidence of what American medical response is always doing. All right, indirect light under the fake sun. License 38001T2. Stalking. Those are demons having no position, no business in the medical profession. 8DOE830 also having engaged in kidnapping, as I also documented, in concert with the San Antonio Regional Hospital. 6UUF476 in concert with the infamous Ontario Police Department. 8WHR592, 8NK7 or 8NKZ377. Omnitrans crossing path 1420030. It is currently 10 o'clock in the morning. Alrighty, I did show you that. I just wanted to show you 10 o'clock in the morning, as I've already done, just punctuating my point. And it is already established with regard to stalking with light, and every point that I am making, showing you how I am not playing around at all, and showing you what I'm revealing are psychopaths, demons. 50701Z2, including, understand, Metrolinks. It's nothing but a means of identifying an actor on behalf of the state, engaging in satanic targeting together. That's why you have Metrolink creating light activity. And this is nothing but a line of demons under the fake sun at Orange Way and Sierra in the city of Fontana, which is not coexistent with being over the 280 North Lemon Apartments while I'm at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. All right, they're all stalking. 7DWP400. This is a revealing of a state system. 8XST799 and what is rampant demon possession, because it's satanic. 8RLN760. And all of these psychos together are listening to everything that I'm saying while they're sitting in their cars with their windows up. They're demons. 8WLT618, listening to everything that I'm saying, focused on me, inferior, okay, inherently inferior, stalking me in the bathroom, chasing me into the bathroom. 8XRA224, sex offenders. License plate 8T30828, 8ELY708, 6DZC. I'll get the rest of the ones. 7BRU684. This one is 6DZC774. 04449G1, 6RGF091, 8EZP521, 93820U2. It's 10:04 a.m. U219XO, 5WPX584. What is with regard to 7NWT566, with regard to divinity, all right, which is in control, not these demons. They're going to burn in hell, and they're going to be prosecuted in the natural before they die and burn in hell. 6BCP111, 8SBU661, BJ79C65 paper, 89045F3, 8FIU693 with the kids, 7L, I can't see that one, 6DOK254, CR174 handicap, 5XDM, I can't see the rest of one, E743XO, 8DFG649, 8VUA188. Before they die and burn in hell, I'm going to prosecute them. And guess what? Satan, like it was stalking and monitoring for funsies for years, like the demented weirdo freaks that they are, inferior, just listening to the entirety of a life of another who was not of that inferior condition, all right, including the government. Now they're listening to everything that I'm going to do to them, all right, and reveal about them and everything that's wrong with them. 5XGE241, 44831G2, DAYRA23, BF40B74 paper, 7ACX717, 7V48082. Now that is a God that is superior, okay? All right, not these demons aren't running anything in the government. All right, as big as it thinks that it is, it's inferior. Stalking me, understand that's showing inferiority. But I'm letting you know, legally speaking, I know how you can prosecute that, and that's a terrorist. All right, by virtue of that identity, so acting through 6RDX391, an African-American stalker sitting in the car in relevant position in operation of their communication device in directed light. 8UGP471, 5NOWO67. This demon with directed light stalking me, 7ACX717, 8BGP940, 5NOW067. It's P.O.C. Satan doesn't run anything. Satan is inferior. That's why Satan is stalking me, okay? And that's the reality of demon possession, acting through an entirety of a people and a government, That's how fearful they are of that which is superior. All right. And that's what the ability to discern that. And I'm not going to get into preaching or anything, but I'm going to let you know the fact that you are able to discern demon possession, which is exactly what already occurred. I discerned it, and I just went about documenting so that anyone lacking that spiritual eye can know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. I don't have to make it up. 77716X1. All right, it's a combination of a skill set, and demons are indiscriminate with regard to the United States Postal Service, with regard to any law enforcement agency, with regard to any sheriff's department, with regard to 06966B1, 5CNP824, 5LGM601, 8NUM304, 8B53373, 7CSG394, with regard to any venue that wants to refer to itself as a church, any venue that wants to refer to itself as some foundation or organization that's helping somebody in the economic status that I have, which is born from the criminal activity of the government. All right, homelessness, that's what Mercy House was doing. They're monitoring 7GAW424, and they're demon possessed while they're doing so. 7WVK179, acting on behalf of a state system. 8RYV820, ceaselessly underway. 06583M2, 6AMD999, 0546E, 8NMJ222, 6XHA302. All right, and now that is the inferiority of an entire people, okay? While you're documenting what is their terrorism, because they're demented, that inferiority is also that which is going to be used against them to prosecute them because they're demon possessed, including the Montana police or under fake flood, listening to me prosecute them with my podcast and my video. They're group stalking at Valencia and Sierra right now at 10:08 a.m. I don't even need to get any video of that. I documented them at their venue, and I've documented them ample times under the fake sun and indirect light. License plate 6WZY469, 7PIA969, 6TTE 545, 7X99926, 8WZB441, 8UNE214, 8NIX435, 7RMA595, 8NBK388, 70349N2, 04623H3, Toyo tires. License 7BMZ900, 6ZXP. I can't really see the rest of that one. And that is speaking to what is divine. It's called judgment, divine judgment for what is the wicked activity of a people and a government. It's demonic activity. It's just in the natural. You're looking at what is the combining realities of the spiritual realm and in the natural realm as we know it, flesh and blood. And this is the loss of that battle, okay, of that war by the demons. They lose. 7KYJ134, and they lost a long time ago, by the way. 8YF8336. Let me let you know, they lost when my eyes were open as to what was occurring all around me. That's when they lost, and it's not based on anything that they do. When God decides it's time, it's time. There is no talking back. There's no double talk. There's no second guessing. It is what it is. And what is done in the darkness always comes to light. And I'm going to prosecute them, period. License plate, ATMJ627, 7MZB728. It's not about them. It's about when that time for judgment, because it's already on a scheduled time plan. Understand? It's on a scheduled time plan. They're not stopping anything. It has all been laid out before. And understand what these demons, and that is operating through a government, what the entity intended, and because I'm talking about in the spiritual realm right now, and it is relevant because you're talking about what are terrorists, and you're speaking to what is an inherently wicked, which is malicious engagement in a targeting system. 6U2 7379. 5WDD59, I'm sorry, 5W, I can't see that one, you scratch that one. 7Y10473, 8MRJ001, 42605D3, 8VBM085, 4FZK161, 5UCW021, 8SYP015, 18412X1, 16305A3, 8ATJ875, 319NU handicap, 8H08190, 7YPJ315, 8JNU994, 7TLS361, 8UJK140, 70219W2, 5MRY590, EWA227. And not only that, what is this revealing? And what is it telling to a defeated entity? You're talking about it doesn't matter that you're monitoring with regard to how the ways in which you lose and how I'm going to reveal your criminal activity and your demented status. 8SJD434. You're talking about what is judgment? And judgment is going to be in the form of a profuse prosecution in the existence of legislation as the government is systematically monitoring those who are not of this inferior condition that is demon possession. It's a satanic targeting system. All right, and the government that is demon possessed knows that you are not of that condition and will target you. That's what this is about. All right, whatever threat it is that you pose because you are different. All right, and you have what is the fact that they're monitoring and listening to every word, and guess what? That's a part of their judgment. They are listening to what has been intended before time to occur based on their conduct and the evil that they intended. This is called judgment. All right, and this is the spiritual realm combining with into the natural, and I'm revealing it to you. 82896C3, 0193M8, and you are inherently inferior when you are crouching in bathrooms stalking me. Okay, and not only that, I'm gonna show you to be the sex offender you are. 5UNT291 SMILESC 8NRZ193, and then I'm going to put you in federal prison when you want to engage in criminal summoning because you're a sex offender. 95744F3. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's going on. That's what's going to happen. 627VG handicap monitoring in directed light. You hear those cars driving by directed light while this demon is in traffic stalking at a light with her communication device in operation. Okay, license looking like a werewolf. While she is stalking and monitoring. It is 10:12 a.m. at Valencia and Sierra Avenue. Okay, monitoring with, let me see, yeah, with children in the back. 627VG, engaging in terrorism. Okay, stalking and monitoring. License 8VLD122 8NRP326. This is Union Pacific. Crossing the path on the road, number 59380, license 68563P2 at Valencia and Sierra at 10:13 a.m. License 7NXR265 8AFD867. All right, Union Pacific stalking on the road, just with in the same way that 7AUP208 is lining the path. All right, Union Pacific, the only difference, that demon is driving a vehicle that you can identify commercially. All right, this demon is driving a vehicle you can identify individually of the same group on behalf of the state that's monitoring vicariously through them. 7AUP208, okay? That's P.O.C. It is currently 10:13 a.m. and UPS is crossing path going north up Sierra Avenue. 6LRS584. License plate 1473359. That's Fontana Police. License 1370433. Fontana Police. 7XMJ648. 8JTM194. 8TED530. License 34428G2. IXP177. Alrighty, showing you what is stalking with light by a minion with the Iowa license plate, and he is monitoring with the Fontana Police who are crossing path, and that's why I wanted to show you where the fake sun is while Fontana Police are stalking in relevant position with the people of the state in directed light and under the fake sun that's directly over me at that time, which was 10:14 in the morning as I'm walking north, and the state is moving its fake sun, which you can also see progressing from the Fontana Metrolink train station, just from that venue. But you're talking about remaining over me as I'm traveling from the city of Ontario at the B&G Plaza to the city of Fontana, both on the vehicle of Omnitrans and as I'm walking. Okay, that's P.O.C. And again, 9:56 a.m. on August, on December 13, 2021, when I am at the Fontana Lewis Library, when I'm at the Fontana Police Department, at an earlier time, the state's fake sun is already present, meaning it wouldn't be behind me. It's already over there at the Fontana Police Department. AJVC209, right over me where I'm at. Okay, standing right there outside of the gates of that state facilitating venue. All right, where those demons are monitoring the identification of what is demon possession. 7ZBD 8JVC209 is a white woman stalking in her car. 08813H2 American Medical Response, stalking with that white woman that's lining the path in operation of her communication device. All right, they're all demons lining the path on the side of the road right here as I'm walking up Sierra. This one, license plate AHH884A. Looks like it says Tijuana. 7YGB108. Yeah, Baja, California. Just want to make sure I took a picture of that. That's a Baja, California license plate. This is a Latino male wearing his hat backwards, stalking in the path with AMR and 8UMY502. AMR and who was patrolling? Those demons are so pathetic. And City of Fontana. It is currently 8JJF141, and it is 10:17 a.m. City of Fontana license plate. I'll get them in a second. All right, license plate. BT70X53 paper, 8XBN670, 8XNB670 license plate, excuse me, 8TVE189, showing you what is the fake sun right over my head, and you can see the street sign incorporated in that. No question as to where the fake sun is. It is in the City of Fontana, not remaining in the City of Ontario over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, as I showed you as I stepped out at 11:50 a.m. and showed you what are the sex offenders identified as Open Family Community Library, the people of the state stalking all around a relevant position under the fake sun that remained over that apartment building, and then moved in real time as I walked toward the police to document them. And then you have what is the entity using what is a helicopter to engage in terrorism and communication of a threat, because Satan is very hostile to the fact that I'm documenting it as a stalker and a sex offender. 5XHA087. In other words, revealing what it is doing. You're a sex offender crouching in toilet stalls. You're a stalker. 4PRV174 and a demon-possessed stalker. 7AUX479. 7RRT509. 5XNV255, and I use American Medical Response not only as that indication, but showing you what is the actor engaging in the demonic character 6ZVE317, as it is where the fact that I'm documenting, then you have more and more AMR vehicles who are inevitably stalking with knowledge that I'm documenting them. All right, and that's 8NXA548. That's what I capture in video. That's speaking to 6YBR284, I believe, 6FEK827, 7CEG838, 30165H3. All of them have directed light beside their vehicle. All of them. 750YX handicap. 8WWL383. 68875C3. It's so sad. There are a whole bunch of demons and they're all worried about me. All right, they're all inferior by virtue of that. Understand that. By virtue of that. 8CEB457. It is currently 10:21 a.m. and in that video showing and referencing what is the crossing a path repeatedly by a particular actor identified as American Medical Response, engaging in what is kidnapping, okay? With the San Antonio Regional Hospital, the Ontario Police Department, and the Ontario Fire Department. You have what is the state's fake sun that's right over the street sign. All right, no question about where it's at, and you're going to remember the state's fake sun that is directly over my head at a time earlier when I'm in the same city at 9:56 in the morning. All right, so this is also in the same city. All right, you're talking about what sort of migration? That's no migration of any sun. That is the fake sun that the state is keeping over me everywhere I'm at. And this is also presence of what is the state's fake sun at that intersection of Arrow and Sierra, while American Medical Response is stalking, all right, in concert with the people. It's not different, but moving from the Fontana Metrolink train station, after remaining in the window of that bus from the B&G Plaza, after documented engagement of keeping it in the City of Ontario, keeping it over the B&G Plaza, and keeping it over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. All right, where 48 hours ago, I still remain at the Ontario Village Shopping Center. Okay, I exit the venue at that Ontario Village Shopping Center, and I'm showing you at 11:50 in the morning, the state is keeping its fake sun in perfect alignment with me, and it remains over my head as I walk west to go toward the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, where there was not even any sun in that direction. You see the state keeping its fake sun over my head as I walk west toward that direction, and not doing so on Hope Boulevard. All right, doing so over the streets that I'm walking west toward that venue, where there is no sun over those buildings. All right, contrary to what I showed you yesterday, where it's right over that building as I walk a different path to the same venue earlier in the day. Okay, 1589932, 8RDP766, 5LFY623, 55292J2. ERASO Logistics California 573028, US.3492369. They're monitoring. License plate is not visible. It's a paper plate. 5ROD203, 7PDZ250. It's P.O.C. 5ULC244. And I'm standing on the street that is Arrow and Library. Chamber of Commerce, where the state's fake sun is right over me. It is, by the way, 10:24 a.m. 8NWN 581, 8XIW 493. Eight RTF 454, 7VUA 724, 7XAJ 296, 5JOD 335, 6WHS 396, 8PJF 472, 7KVG 213. These are license plates of third parties and or state actors with knowledge of the fact that I am documenting that are parked at the Fontana Los Library. 7 RLK 449, 7 UIN 971 RHANE, 8 GWP 287, 6 PXD 567, and it's 10:25 a.m. P.O.C. Alrighty, showing you video. It's 10:27 a.m. I did pause this, to capture video of what is the state's fake sun, unmistakably at the venue and remaining for the duration of the day. As I've shown you, after 4 p.m., the state keeps its fake sun where I remain, and that's why I was in perfect alignment with me at light approximately 4:18 in the evening, while I'm standing in the parking lot of this same venue. There's no question about what the state is doing with its fake sun. Good morning. Hey, hi, how you doing? That's a security guard. He's monitoring. Was this Tom? How's it going, Tom? Tom, right? Tim? You told me your name. Oh, you're a different one. Sorry. They're the same security guard company. Tom was the other one that was harassing me. Anyway, it is currently 10:28 a.m. and showing what is video of the state's light source over the venue, where it remains for the duration of the day, as I've already established. And that's in direct conflict with what I showed you yesterday, because I'm showing you what is the sex offender, what is the stalker, what is the demon-possessed agency, that is the Ontario Police Department, as that light source is remaining in the city of Ontario over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, which I show you vividly at 11:50 in the morning. It's 10:28 a.m. in the city of Fontana, and this is P.O.C. All right, documented at 11:50 in the morning is what is already established, and that which I'm also showing upon my arrival, the fact that I am in the city of Fontana and you have what is a light source over me is establishing what is already shown as the pattern. The state remains where I remain, whatever city it is, with that which is a light source that is not the sun, which is in the ongoing documentation of what is stalking with light, while the people of the state are stalking in concert with that entity, engaging in what is group stalking and surveillance. And I did step out at 11:50 to punctuate the sexual violence that I captured the Ontario Police Department engaging in yesterday on December 16, 2021, which this is that which they are systematically and ceaselessly engaged in. All right, I'm only capturing it on video for your eyes to see and understanding what is the criminal engagement in elements, what is the psychopath stalker, what is the sex offender, while those ongoing pattern of conduct, while the entity is practicing what is demonic activity in violation of Title 18, because they are monitoring as an entity with communication devices. This is interstate stalking amongst the demon possessed, all right? Monitoring an American citizen with communication devices. And you have what is capturing what is federal stalking by the entity in the bathroom at the venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, while the fake sun is remaining in the city of Ontario, as I clearly showed, as it remains there, as I step out to show you the totality of the entity engaging in that sexual violence. Okay, I'm in the bathroom. They're engaging in the elements. They're stalking altogether. It's not just that one person. This is an entity, and that's the state that is stalking inside of that a private space. Okay, knowledge of exactly who I am, what I am doing as I'm doing it, and then entering into further engage in the elements of monitoring. That's a violent sex offender. That is a psychopath stalker. And crouching in a bathroom next to you in a stall with knowledge of what you are doing while you're doing it, while you're physically indisposed, all of that which is within the knowledge of the demon possessed and the public entity together while they're chasing into bathrooms and stalking, okay? A terrorizing threat inside of that private space, all right? And this is what I document the Ontario Police Department engaging in, replete with circling above, demonstrating demon possession. That's what that's circulating. That's that piece in conduct in what is engineered light. This is demonic activity demonstrated by the Ontario Police Department, who are stalking and monitoring me inside of the private space in relevant position, where, by the way, exactly 24 hours ago, where I just captured this video today in the city of Fontana over the Fontana Lewis Library. And that is what, while I am facing south at the Fontana Lewis Library in the city of Fontana, not only that is it the direction that I'm facing south in the city of Fontana, which is east of the city of Ontario, where the state kept its fake sun, in conflict with what I showed 24 hours ago, and then 24 hours before that as well. You have what is also remaining present on understanding the ongoing pattern. It's also remaining over the building that I am inside of in every way, showing what is that stalking with light. Other details you're going to pay attention to in the video, you're going to hear what is sounding of a loud ignition starting. That is a demon that is creating audible activity, which the state is amplifying with simultaneity to my walking outside, stalking with audible activity. All right, the child that's running around is a means of audible activity, while that group stalker in the video with the colored hair, she is stalking in the path, okay? And doing so in an environment that is deliberately maintained, whereby you don't have to know that demon's name. You don't have to specifically identify them by name. The government is present by virtue of her presence, and the malicious engagement in criminal elements where the state is amplifying all activity, where the state is keeping a fake sun over your head and aiming directed light. What else are you paying attention to? As I step out of the building, contrary to what you're seeing inside of the building, this is directed light, not sunlight. This is directed light that's underneath on the table, touching all over the carpet, which the state is keeping inside of the venue. I've showed you this as late as 4:16, 4:15 in the evening. Cycling directed light, where the people are engaging in surveillance, and these are demons who surround, stalking with ongoing incessant noise. Okay, that's what they're doing. Psychopaths, okay? The same ones that chase you in the bathrooms, okay? And you have what is the placement of this directed light inside of the building, and you're looking at what is the fake sun above the building. And you're looking at what is the light activity, as though this is sunlight that you're looking at while I'm approaching to show you the video, so you can see the light source hovering above the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library. All of this is showing what is not the sun and also what is not sunlight. In addition, if that was actually the sun over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library, you're not going to have what is light, supposedly sunlight. That's what that's supposed to be. This is the form of breaking down what is asininity by the demon possessed, who are obsessed stalkers, okay? And it's not sophisticated, it's just demonic, and it's showing obsession, it's showing determination, and that is terrorism, where the government is obsessed, where the government is engaging in that level of stalking you in a bathroom. That's a violent sex offender that is reaching out with its directed light, wanting to touch all over you, wanting to follow you everywhere and remain where you go. This is literally the conduct and the personification through the light activity that the entity engages in. And like I said, that directed light, which is inside of the venue, and so the analysis is that if that was actually sunlight, it's not going to be present where the actual sun is over the building, which the actual sun would not be hovering over the roof. Okay, I'm laughing because it's pathetic, not because it's funny. A government, a demon-possessed one, stalking an American citizen, there's nothing funny about that. A people stalking an American citizen is nothing funny about that. It is revealing what is demonic possession over a people, over a government body, and over what is every single last person. The ongoing environment is indicative of that condition, and that's what I'm showing you. What I am speaking to is directly substantiated by the evidence. This is not just, I'm making just unfounded statements and I'm not supporting it. No, the fact that you're looking at what is directed light, even I didn't know what directed light was. I know it's demonic. And so I have shown you how you are able to deduce what you may or may not be able to spiritually discern. You can see with your own very eyes, and that's also the grounds upon which you're going to prosecute it in the form of a federal court. And understanding that it is also demonic, which is relevant to what is the terrorism by a government. Okay, it is currently 12:02 p.m. and that is a video that I captured of the state's fake sun over the Fontana Lewis Library and directed light inside of the venue. The entity is engaging in ongoing surveillance. And engaging in ongoing stalking. These psychopaths are just sitting around, just monitoring what I'm doing on the internet. Okay, just waiting for their day of judgment. That's what they're already being judged right now. Everything that I'm showing about them and identifying them and showing the psychopaths about the government, about the people, is an aspect of their judgment. They are also going to be prosecuted in federal court, and all this entity is doing, as you can see with the fake sun and directed light, is sitting around focused on me, stalking with noise, a psychopath, a stalker, a demon-possessed one. And that's all they're doing. It is currently 12:02 p.m. This is P.O.C. 6CTY111. It is currently 5:26 p.m. So these are stalkers who are engaging in the ongoing demonic stalking activity, stalking with light, stalking in the pathway as they are tracking my move as I'm exiting the venue of the library now. And these same minions that are stalking outside, let me get this license, STRADAG, sitting in their vehicle, African American females, while they are monitoring while the rest of them are patrolling in the parking lot, and they're stalking with their headlights on, and the state is amplifying audible activity. It's, by the way, 5:27 p.m. License 8FLM117. They're the ones stalking at the entrance as I walk down the stairs, and then they drive to a parking spot, which is crossing path, and another enters the parking lot. That's the license plate I read. 7SAD020, but I can't really see that one. This is busy. These are demons, and their presence for stalking in what is directed light, the fake one that's right over me, is giving away toiletries and waters to homeless people. They're monitoring. And they are demon-possessed stalkers. 7BTW707, 7ZYS 375, 7YFG 758, EH502 handicap. And this one molesting, STRADAG 7AQL 999, 6WRD 697, 6RTF 524, 8PLG 154. That's the African American male that likes to ruffle bags. 7SAT 731, I believe. That's probably different, but that's the same group stalker who was driving back and forth in the parking lot as I'm walking down. 7KVG 213, 8JEH 800. All right, and this is a fat double chin white woman who's monitoring a communication device, while that other demon, 7S, oh good, sit there, Satan, let me get that license, 7SAT070, monitoring with that demon that's facing back. 8NJK741, 6VCR931, 6S01155, 6UFP322, BU09C00, 7AIB295, BM93H11 paper, 7PSC347, a 5TFW593, 5UPY226. Okay, so the license plate, well, when I'm referencing, good Satan, sit there, just so you know what license plate I'm referencing. That is the one that I initially misread. I said I couldn't see it that clearly. They drove past. Then they drove past again. They're pacing in the parking lot, right? They are stalking as I'm reading license plates, so they're just driving back and forth, and then they stay stationary at the stop sign at Lerner and Library. That's the intersection right here at the Fontana Lewis Library. All of those license plates that I just read, they're all engaged in an ongoing orgy, being molested, okay? The state is aiming directed light. They're touching on my front side of my body and the back side of my body, touching all over. A stalker and the government, neither having any right or purpose whatsoever to engage in that. And that's how you're going to prosecute the government that's stalking you as the sex offender that it is, while it's all, the government is also stalking in the bathroom. 7XKM565 is molesting while I'm being molested and walking over here. She's stalking, sitting in the parking lot, monitoring with the state, and monitoring to that sexually violent conduct. She's a molester as well. They're monitoring together. License plate 8DYL578. License plate 6REZ397 with a kid in the car. All right, stalking me. I'm the priority amongst the demon possessed. And that is speaking to what is the unworthiness while they're engaging in this conduct with children with them. I am the focus, though. Understand that. Everything I told you about the demon possessed, I'm the center of the galaxy. That's why Fake Sun is over me. You have people bringing, demon possessed actors bringing their children along to stalk me. Bringing their children along to stalk me in the bathroom. Bringing their children along to molest me with directed light. Okay? 8FSD488. License plate 5SHE302 7BBL091. The state is just aiming light just all around in the parking lot. 8YCH449, which is also ongoing because I have multiple shadows, but I mean concentrated light, just aiming light all around. All right, there's psychopaths. 8FOJ 873, 8XBC020, 6SXH272, and documentation of ongoing terrorism inside of the venue that is the Fontana Lewis Library. Those demons engaging in ongoing stalking with light. First of all, the state is projecting directed light that would be horizontally through the doors and the windows, and this is also what is speaking to the directed light that is engineered light, and that is why and how you're talking about what is absolutely impossible light activity. These demons, while they are stalking in the path, meaning they'll walk across the room, walk out of the hallway, walk in any way, and engaging, in other words, what is crossing a path, and then their shadow will appear across the room by me. The state is creating light activity on the walls around me. The state is creating flashing light on the computers next to me. All right, they're focused on everything that I am doing, in every way stalking and molesting. 5SDT4459, I can't really see that one. 0515083, and that's all that they were doing today. 7XXL217. Stalking with noise, monitoring my documentation that I'm publishing. All right, and as I do that, as I'm engaged in activity on the communication device, which is the desktop computer, FONPL02, I believe is the one I was on. I'm sorry, 03, and on surveillance cameras. Just demons engaging in surveillance, just maintaining presence all around. And then psychopaths, they're just stalking with noise and walking all around in abnormal light. Okay, absolute demons. These are the living dead that I'm documenting and prosecuting because they're criminals, while they are demented psychopaths stalking one person altogether. All right, and that's what was going on at Fontana Lewis Library on surveillance cameras. And I'm leaving that venue. Having left that venue, now I'm continuing documentation. It is 5:32 p.m. and I'm at Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue. I guess I'll cross the street. Fontana police is creating light activity. They're stalking in the path. It's like they're stalking under the fake sun, as I documented this morning. Those are demons engaging in the P.O.C. It's also facilitating conduct. So while the government, acting via Fontana PD, are stalking and creating light activity, it is also terrorizing while everyone else is monitoring to that, enabling everyone else. Sex offenders 7YTD047, 8NAZ198, 8JNJ279, 8RTG674, 4HSU821, 85563B1, all of them sex offenders, including the Fontana police, who are in perfect alignment, molesting my backside, touching all over my body with directed light while they're stalking in the path. And the first license plate that I read, speaking of sex offender, goes to third-party facilitating venue Citibank at Arrow and Sierra. And it's 5:33 p.m. That will be on surveillance cameras. And that's a male that gets out. He's got on glasses and a black beanie. They're sitting, stalking in the parking lot. And let me be clear, this demon with license plate 7YT047, he is monitoring while he goes to Citibank, and the Fontana police are creating light activity, facilitating light activity. And that's all that demons have to do, by the way. All right, 8UMJ248, he was also monitoring as he molests me with directed light. He's a sex offender. He's a demon-possessed psychopath who was stalking, and I know it, and I've documented it and showing you how that is the exact same pattern of conduct that is underway right now while they go to a facilitating venue. And let me be clear, a Citibank is identified as such a venue, and you're going to be able to prosecute because the people are using it. The Fontana police are using it. That's exactly how it's going to be prosecuted. 7BVT674 is molesting with reverse lights, just sitting in a parking spot, just sitting with their reverse lights on because I'm behind the vehicle and they're keeping light on me. They're a sex offender. Okay, the vehicle has multiple shadows and I have multiple shadows. They're touching. They're sex offenders and they're stalking with the Fontana police. Again, license 7BVT674, then just drives around to park at the opposite side of the parking lot. All right, they're pacing around. That's a demon that's pacing in directed light. All right, that is a demon that is also a sex offender. License plate 6UUP136, 8GGT993, 8RJN863. Stalking in the parking lot of what is Casa Barreto restaurant. License plate 4ZVF136 is parked over here. 8DFA503. 8CDY914. And you've got a demon over here with their headlights on. They are stalking while they're molesting me inside of the city bank parking lot. And this one's coming down the alley. They were already stalking. They know where I'm at, so they're tracking my moves. 7TWZ551. That's a male with facial hair. He's got on a hat. He's stalking. All right, he's crossing path. He's stalking in an alley is where he was at. And as soon as I come down and get this license of this demon, 8BSY709, he comes out the side of the alley. He's stalking. Okay, P.O.C. Let me get the rest of these demons over here. 7XKB 868, 8JSD 532, 8TMX 826, 26296P2 7LRH 356, 7ULD 020, 6YXM 349, 5DGD 382, 8XXC 172, 8UEL 795, 7954 OU1, and it's currently 5:36 p.m. Eight UVH 596, 6 CSR 817. In case I didn't read this, oh yeah, I did 7XKB 868. They're creeping city in the dirt parking lot. They're monitoring us, hiding all around in back alleys. This is the inconspicuous stalking, and that's inconspicuous stalking when the grounds are covered with directed light. Okay, this is the stalking activity by the people who are maintaining presence everywhere that I go. All right, and doing so in concert with the state that is sounding sirens in directed light. Okay, the same entity that hops out of the alleyway as I walked in that direction is sounding sirens with knowledge of where I'm at in directed light. That's P.O.C. And this is Casa Barreto Restaurant, Fontana Jewelry and Loan at Arrow Boulevard in Sierra. They're monitoring. That is the demon-possessed actor AMR. Who is monitoring with those demons? 6YPN 787. They are literally telling on Omnitrans 1545907. Not that Omnitrans needs it. They're a sex offender and they're molesting right now. License plate. You literally have Satan driving an ambulance, okay? And all these demons are monitoring with it. 8XUA 590, 60985M2, 8KVG 597, 8TAZ 246, 8RSR 729. 6XLT 574. And it's 5:38 p.m. and AMR is driving east on Arrow Boulevard, crossing path, stopping sirens after they cross me. License plate 6XLT 574. I read that one. 8PNJ 889, 8HJA 640, 7BUC 190, 4XNW 917, 7LPR 954. 6NGD 572, 603-938, all right, 60938Y2, I believe. 7ZGM 621, 7ZLT 815, 8PSN 641. And I want to be clear, this is the same entity that's stalking in the bathroom as I showed you on video. 7YIS 570. I am documenting and prosecuting an entity, and this entity is documented this morning stalking in the bathroom. 6LNH 409. All right, and all of them are violent sex offenders under the fake sun that went from Ontario, California, to remaining over me as I went to the city of Fontana. Let me show you this real quick. Hold on. I'm showing you what is, first of all, a stalker. You're looking at the gigantic shadow behind him. He's an operation of his communication device. As soon as I take a picture of Satan, he looks down at his phone. He knows exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. He's stalking in directed light. That's also what you're looking at. And the fake moon is in direct alignment with me as well. JAYSGRL. And where he is stalking, he's standing where he was walking on the field. I'm right here still beside third-party facilitating venue where they're stalking in the parking lot, coming down the back alleys, all right, monitoring with AMR and the Fontana police at Casa Barreto Restaurant. Casa Barreto Restaurant, yeah. Where they're using that parking lot as a facilitating venue, just like they are with Citibank. They're all under the fake moon in that parking lot, while the state, the police, and AMR are creating light activity and sounding sirens. Okay, in directed light. I just captured an image of that group stalker walking on the sidewalk in directed light. I remain coded with directed light. It's P.O.C. Citibank at Arrow and Sierra Avenue is nothing but a venue, and it's the same during the day under the fake sun. It is a venue, and I'm documenting it right now, used for criminal means, and you shall prosecute for that. It's a state system. However it is documented nonetheless. And Citibank is not a victim. Citibank is representing what is a third-party facilitating venue, and the very employees inside of those venues, when they are present, are monitoring an American citizen. They're not being victimized whatsoever. You're not ignorant in direct light. You're not ignorant under the fake sun and in amplified audible activity. Also, you're not ignorant while you're a demon stalking with noise with simultaneity to the one you are stalking. License plate. Any move in any activity on the venue or the internet on a communication device. 7FVU 907. And I just took those images, so you take a good look at that. It's 5:42 p.m., so those are taken at approximately 5:39, 5:38 p.m. That's a Latino male. 59907V2. 7HMX 792 45515T2. 7NRL 455. CA7062X, I believe. I'm sorry, CA7062X. Yeah, I think so. 8UYS 130. RLG CG. 7SBV 720, 8VSB 183, KAMADOR, 6BLN 952, 6ELL 466, 8WZZ 736. Yeah, that's right. I read that one already. I think I read this one. 6A. Hold on, let me get this one. Is that a Q or O? 6AQB491. And this one, an old Tercel with no license plate visible and nothing on the front. Okay, him and his little crappy beater that he's monitoring me with doesn't have a license plate on it. License 6KEG729. 7TIX279. 8WZZ. Yeah, I read that one. 8XQB647. 41325J1. 6VHA 612, 8MQF 964, 6KFG 379, 8XRE 497, 51260Z1, 3UEY 167, 7GFB 060, 51260Z1, 7XWN 393, 8NSN 820, 8CLE. Oh no, don't leave, Satan. You know I'm about to take a picture of you. All right, they like to stop right next to me and touch me with light. And not only is it monitoring, it's the sexual violence of a criminal that knows they're being documented, and they also want to distract me from documenting these license plates. So I continue to document, and then I was going to take those demons' pictures. All right, because that's what they're doing. They're parked and using their turn signal. It's light activity. They're in directed light. I'm just pointing out all the methods of what are demon-possessed stalkers and their psychopaths and sex offenders that want to touch and follow me. 04668H3, I believe, 8NLA 398. 8NFL 566, 6SKC 849, 7JUV 394, license plate 7GVR 433, and it's currently 5:44 p.m. Seven YXC 154, 7X HX 517, 8DFG 402, 8VMV 144. Yeah, 8UOU 385. 86958A3. All right, so I want to document, make some notes of some analytical notes for you. First of all, this morning, number one, the old, aged, liver spot covered, third party sex offending group stalker who was demon possessed. Okay, that old biddy with white hair, 8HYJ054. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. You are documenting an entity that is stalking on behalf of a government. So let me first point out what is the entity's tactics. Using children, using aged vessels of Satan, because they're all demon-possessed. It does not matter. You're talking about what is Satan, a demon-possessed entity, right? A malicious government, in other words, that is monitoring the documentation with which I shall, any target individual shall, prosecute it, and then engaging in placing different types of vessels of the same demonic entity. You're talking about a demon-possessed teenager versus a demon-possessed, virile man, which one is going to look at one and more compassionate than the other. This is relying on the outward form, and I'm letting you know, I already told you. You're dealing with demonic activity, demons. It is malicious at every turn. First of all. Second of all, and that is the short-sightedness, that is the woeful unpreparedness of a government for the slicing down of its entire operation of its system, all right? And understanding what are demon-possessed actors that surround, they are identified as the people of the state, and it doesn't matter what their name is. Doesn't matter what their name is. It doesn't matter what their face is, what their race is. Doesn't matter any physical handicap they want to claim. 8DYP796 is about demon possession, which you cannot see on them. All right, you deduce it, you see it, you witness it by their conduct. 7TBA942. So in other words, while I'm showing you the fake sun over this old geezer in the parking lot, which is exactly why I refer to her that way, because I have no respect for sex-offending stalkers such as Satan, 7TBA942 has been stalking on the sidewalk, waiting for me to arrive. That's surveillance. You have what is the use. Let me be clear. It is intentional. It does not matter. It's the same entity that is terrorizing and molesting and sexually violating the same exact fake son, the same exact conflicting location and placement of that fake son. All right. The same stalking in the private space, the same directed light filling that venue, all of which is the same exact P.O.C. by a sex offender. All right, the entity that is monitoring documentation, all right, that has literally been pegged for what it is and what it's doing, in places before my camera lens for you to see an old woman who's supposed to be disarming, and it's not. This sex offender 1387136, Omnitrans that loves to touch on me, which you saw also today. Yet another day. You have what is intentional conduct, everything that you are placing, and what are you focusing on? The fact that you are a third party, you are a person, you are a demon-possessed one, and that is also known by the environment you're surrounded by. While anything coming out of your mouth is going to be analyzed as nothing less than audible activity, which will also add elements to your prosecution. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, you're talking about knowledge and intent and malice. All right, and these young adults, they know exactly what they're doing with regard to maintaining presence, stalking with audible activity, the same exact demon possession. All right, and also capitalizing, that is, exploiting the fact that they're under 18, thinking that there's some exception. And every turn of my documentation, I'm showing that's not the case, but understand the malice of this demon in front of me. All right, understand that. That's going to the prosecution. Second of all, you are understanding what is the unaffected threat posed by that. Okay, I am not dealing with one individual. This is documentation of an entity. This is group conduct. It is inherently terrorizing, and it is inherently sexually violent and perverted and sexually motivated. You are literally crouching in the bathroom stall. That's exactly what you saw. That's exactly the ongoing pattern shown by this government. All right, and the people. All right, concerned with what I am, where I'm going in the bathroom. That's the stalker I'm documenting. And this entire entity was documented this morning. You are understanding the threat posed by the government, not by some old biddy who was used as supposed to be the outward form, which is in no way changing the pattern of conduct that is already established. By virtue of the definition of a pattern, you don't change it by some anomaly. A pattern remains in existence. It is by definition that was established on more than one occasion, on more than one occurrence. And these occurrences are in and of themselves extraordinary. You are having what is following with that which is not the sun. You are following with that which is not even sunlight appearing while you're doing what? Just driving by? That's the specific signature of the state. Now, when the state wants to use an old biddy while that same environment is present, that's called malice. That's called malice. That's going to the intensity of that prosecution. That is the psychopath. That is this satanic system in operation. Okay? That's the P.O.C, and I want to make sure that I point that out. Excuse me. It is currently 5:50 p.m. That's a group stalker that's stalking at Village at Sierra Avenue and Orange Way, maintaining presence on foot, just like the Omnitrans employee was, as I showed you as I was walking on the sidewalk, and he's under the tree, maintaining relevant positioning while the state's fake sun is in real-time movement, keeping in alignment with me. And that's exactly what you see in the picture. That's what she's doing at nightfall. Okay? Stalking in the path. 8WWG018. 8FBT741. 7HTW791, 7JBL256. So I want to make sure I clarify that. And the state has been and continues to stalk via aircraft. All right. And it is currently 5:51 p.m. and I am at the Fontana Metrolink train station. And I want to also point out something else. What I published today. Well, actually, no, I didn't publish it today. I already published it. And it was something that I had already stated that I was doing and that I continue to do, which is the totality of my documentation and the understanding of the full picture of a government operation of monitoring American citizens, okay? It's a government operation. And that's why you have this one whose license plate I read, stalking in the darkness, okay? Now molesting. Let me show you this. Sitting in the darkness at Village at Sierra. That is the one I read, 7JBL256, engaging in surveillance. Okay, stalking in the dark, sitting in their car on the opposite side of the street, molesting with Omnitrans at 5:52 p.m. Let me be clear. You have what is maintaining presence on behalf of the entity. And, hold on a second. In addition to that, there you go. Alrighty, I took pictures of what is molestation. First of all, these group stalkers who are intentionally walking across the street, as they do, because I started taking pictures of the sex offender that's molesting. And you are talking about touching with not only an intent to monitor, doing so while engaging in surveillance. This is an old Latino male in operation of a communication device, and I just took pictures. It's 5:53 p.m. You can see the group stalkers who he is monitoring with while he's molesting my body. This is documentation and the prosecution of a sex offender, license 7JBL256, while he is stalking in the dark, and then he starts his ignition as I do not cross the street. He's molesting with Omnitrans that's on the opposite side of the street. The group stalkers then begin walking across the street again, and you are looking at their shadows that is reaching across to the opposite side of the street, and that's what I take a picture of. They're in engineered light. That's what I'm being molested with, and they are monitoring together. The demons that are walking are creating activity. They're crossing path. The demon that is sitting and molesting me with light, 7JBL256, and also the demon that is driving the Omnitrans bus, and that is Route 61 at 5:53 p.m. That also begins takeoff, which is crossing in path. Everything that they are doing is achieving the ongoing elements of monitoring, and they're engaging in sexual violence while they do it. Okay, and this is a third party acting on behalf of the state using a commercial brand. This is a third party 7JBL256 acting on behalf of the state, group stalking in the dark, sitting in the darkness, waiting for me to walk by. That's the terrorizing stalking activity by a demon who is also then touching my body with what is directed light, serving a criminal purpose in concert with the state that is following, keeping over my head a fake moon, and keeping over what is via aircraft. Okay, it's 5:54 p.m. That's P.O.C. I'm going to prosecute that sex offender. It's P.O.C. License 8GTB478, and that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what Omnitrans did, and that's what I took pictures of, okay? That's want to make sure I document that. So like I was stating, what I already said that I was going to do was capture on my website documentation that is already published. For example, it was already published on podcasts. It was already published on some of it onto YouTube, for example. You have what is my placement of my documentation into sequence, into context, the ongoing pattern of conduct, and showing all the facets of the criminal system as it's in operation. All right, as the people of the state and the government itself directly are engaging in this entirely comprehensive monitoring system and the acts of criminal obstruction of justice that I documented while they sought to silence me, to oppress, to criminally defame and kidnap, all right, and engage in ongoing harassment. And this is what I've published. So with regard to the civil cases and the criminal case, the fictitious prosecution, this is published, and it's also relevant to what is a timeline of criminal activity that the entity engaged in. You're talking about the, first of all, the state's criminal obstruction of justice via evasion of service of process. And that is a civil case that I initiated in 2019. And that was filed on September 12, 2019, Erica Lorraine Spencer v. People of the State of California, case number CIVDS1927330. And this is the entity acting via the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, the same actor that engaged in repeated acts of kidnapping. Okay, evading service of process by refusing to serve process to the California Attorney General. This is published. Okay, this is what I published, and I put it in its proper context with regard to all of the litigation that pre-exists, and also the ongoing pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring that coexists with the state's act of evading service of process. That's criminal. Under facts of federal group stalking and monitoring, you're understanding what is the entity's engagement in obstruction of justice, right? And then you have what is the state engaging in what is theft of my personal property. That was my vehicle by the Ontario Police Department, the same agency engaging in repeated acts of kidnapping, okay? And the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, these are the kidnappers, and you have what is theft of property by the same actor. Bill and Wags Incorporated represents the people of the state who are monitoring and then engage in what is the fictitious authority under the law, while it is the entity that is criminally monitoring you, that entity in the position of government, in the position of law enforcement, then using what is the law, which is fictitious authority where the entity is criminally monitoring you, and doing so maliciously while I'm documenting, okay? Engaging in what is an ongoing act of evading service of process simultaneously, then theft of my property. This is October of 2019. This is Erica Lorraine Spencer v. Bill and Wags Incorporated, and that is civil case number CIVDS 1930644, which is also published onto my website. You're going to want to pay attention to that as well. And it is relevant with regard to the sequence of events while the state engaging in what is obstruction of justice. And let me be clear, these are precipitating events, all right? These are of paramount importance because criminals such as Barry Plotkin, Lynn Ponson, even Kimberly Appaloo, who you will find engaged in the fictitious prosecution. She also dipped in and participated in what was essentially an ongoing fictitious prosecution because I was denied default judgment after the defendant, Bill and Wags, that stole my vehicle in concert with the Ontario Police, did not timely respond to my complaint and the summons, which entitles me to default judgment. And so long story short, the court that is monitoring, it's a facilitating venue, denies default judgment, having no grounds to do so, all right, and also denying my request for an ex parte hearing because I wanted a shortening of time. Obviously, this entity is monitoring me, threatening my life, stealing my property, and doing it in plain sight, okay, literally under the fake sun and directed light, doing it in plain sight, and then chasing me down with a helicopter on the day that they stole my car. All of this is published, all right, and so the entity engaging in this conduct, that is clear grounds for a shortening of time. This is the entity engaging in what is not only theft of property, the unlawful denial of legal relief that you are fully entitled to. And let me be clear, where the government is monitoring you, you are entitled to that legal relief. And so on those grounds as well, it is absolutely unlawful, and there's no change in that. All right, she is pacing on the bus. She's going back and forth, and you have another bus that stops beside. Understand what I documented this morning about these demons? And so this is how demons engage in what is showing hostility passive-aggressively, acting like they're focused on something else. They close the door on you without noticing you while they're in directed light and stalking with the state via aircraft. I did capture this demon's face on video while she's pacing on the bus. She's running up back and forth and monitoring with the other demon. This is a male who stops beside the bus, and she has still yet to open the door. It is 6 p.m. on the dot. All right, and she's just ignoring. She's not giving a reference for why she's not opening the door and why she's not regarding me at all, while she's cheesing and smiling and coking and joking, and she's monitoring. Yeah, I know. Why can't I sit on the bus? Yeah, can I get on the bus? Can I get on the bus like everybody else? She keeps saying 9 minutes. She keeps saying 9 minutes, like she doesn't want to let me on the bus. She let everybody else sit on the bus. Okay, let me show you what it's targeting. These are demons who are sitting on the bus monitoring with her. Hold on. Oh, and she puts her back to the camera. They're monitoring, so I don't care about their fat hands. They're criminals and they're demon-possessed ones, so I'm going to take their images while she's engaging in targeting conduct with the state, with third parties who are hostile because I'm documenting the fact that they're sex-offending stalkers and psychopaths. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I capture that. It is 6:02 p.m. and what you're looking at, first of all, this is a method of targeting. This is a hostile actor documented engaging in incontrovertible criminal activity. And this same not only is it the same actor, it's Omnitrans, but this particular driver who is demon possessed, all right, she's a stalker and she's hostile. She's communicating that hostility while she lets the rest of the minions on. All of them are monitoring together. They're all in directed light. They're all violent sex offenders who are stalking me. And you have what is knowledge of the fact that they're being documented. And you have what is her letting the minions on the bus and not letting me on the bus, telling me 9 minutes when she let all of them on the bus and not letting me on the bus. And then as I knock on the door while the door is open, she closes the door in my face, okay, while she is monitoring. That's targeting by the entity. That is hostile to documentation. This is Omnitrans. And again, that is license plate 1 8399982. That's P.O.C. She said 9 minutes. All right, so I want to be clear. The minion that's driving the bus, she lets off another group stalker that's serving P.O.C. All right, she opens the door and lets one off. This is the same one that was stalking at the intersection at Village at Sierra. This Latina female who was standing around in the darkness, stalking with them and monitoring with a communication device, is on the bus. This is both a means of what is harassment and targeting, and she lets this minion off the bus after getting on the bus. All right, that is not going anywhere. All right, and after telling me it's 9 minutes and allowing all the rest of the minions to sit on the bus. This is not about hurt feelings. This is about prosecuting every criminal method employed by a defeated and demon-possessed entity, okay? And that's what I'm going to document. And let me be clear, this fat-faced and fat-hand minion that's putting his head on the window is focused on what is me. He's monitoring and doing it in concert with the minion that's focused on me as well. That's why she didn't let me on the bus, all right? This is the means of crossing a path while this minion walks in front with a communication device. Bus number 1285, and I'm referencing the camera. This is license plate. That's a demon stalking with audible activity. License 1420030. Bus 1285, which is an out of service. It's a means for criminal conduct for the elements. Bus 1301. This is the same crossing a path. And let me be clear, you have flickering light on the grounds of the Fontana Metrolink train station. That is not a malfunction. It's light activity, and it's also demonic. All right, that's a pattern. In the same way that demons stalk with their hazard lights on, she is monitoring, the one that's stalking and not letting me on the bus, 1479509, they're monitoring together. That's called patrolling, okay? All right, and also showing you what is the fake moon that remains over me while she is targeting and monitoring with the demons in directed light and with flashing light, which is the demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with an environment that's called light activity, all right, while she is engaging in what is a form of targeting. You are present on behalf of the state. You are clearly documenting and literally engaging in a criminal enterprise as a business on behalf of the state. And that's what my documentation shows. And these are methods of targeting, all right? And this is targeting conduct by what is a sore loser. And I'm going to drag them for that. And I'm going to drain their pockets for that. You're talking about Omnitrans, which is representative. They provide a template for those companies that do not need to exist. They do harm to the public. They're monitoring American citizens. They're violent sex offenders. And I have a wealth of documentation demonstrating all of the above. In the same way that they drive past me while I am at bus stops, in the same way that they engage in stopping at what are not bus stops in order to criminally monitor and harass and target me, you have what is not letting me on the bus in the same exact circumstances while they are hostile to my documentation. Okay, that's what this is about, and that's the ongoing pattern that they are engaged in. All right, it is currently 6:06 p.m. And what you're going to pay attention to, the demon that I'm showing you while I'm at the side of what is the Barreto restaurant, and the fake moon is right over me. You're seeing him stalking with directed light. His shadow is humongous right behind him while he's in operation of his communication device. The fake moon is right there beside me as I have walked to the Fontana Metrolink train station where Omnitrans is engaging in documented criminal conduct of targeting and harassment upon federal stalking and sexual violence. You have what is the fake moon that's right over me as well. Okay, it is 6:07 p.m. and that is documentation of what is not the moon, that it has that same pattern of remaining over me just like during the day with the fake sun that then coincidentally goes to the same intersection that I get off the bus or get on the bus. Okay, that's P.O.C. And there is the ongoing pattern of harassment by a third-party group stalker who is heavily documented, shown to be the sex-offending, demon-possessed psychopath that they are. And then mad because I'm revealing it. That's why you have what is closing the door in my face. All right, she's fat and overweight, and she works for a bus line. She's a failure in life, and she's stalking me. Okay, that's P.O.C. It's 6:07. All right, it's 6:08 p.m. I want to document her use of stalking with activity as I turn my phone into airplane mode. Then she opens the door, and as she opens the door, it creates light activity. All right, and she's monitoring with the minion who I showed you, who's on his communication device. He crosses path while the other buses are patrolling, and he remains in relevant position monitoring. He's not the only one, but he's an example of what I took a picture of. She opens the door as I change my phone to airplane mode. Okay, that's stalking with activity. It's currently 6:09 p.m. That is Metrolink monitoring. Excuse me, can I get past you? Here's my bus pass. Excuse me. That's Metrolink engaging the P.O.C. And so what I want to inform you about with regard to the P.O.C. and the psychopaths that are stalking you while they're not looking at you. So this is what she does. She's acting like she's all so into her conversation, right? She's talking to the other bus driver, giving him a hug. Oh, it's so good to see you. Remember, they're in directed light, and the state is stalking by aircraft, and the fake moon is over my head. All right, this is P.O.C. And you have what is engaging in what is the conduct of a psychopath while her back is to me, all right, acting like she's not focused on me. The moment that I get up to get on the bus, she immediately closes the door. All right, this is Satan that is focusing on you, okay? And she engages in opening the door, which is the creation of light activity. Use this demon that is targeting and it's focused on me, uses the opening of the door with simultaneity to my placing the phone in airplane mode. Okay, that's P.O.C. It is 6:10 p.m. That's criminal defamation. That's criminal defamation. She's talking about cuckoo while she's stalking. All right, cuckoo is having a fake sun remaining in the window and stalking with directed light. Satan. All right, you're the one that's engaging in stalking. And these are the demon-possessed of Omnitrans, okay? They like to pass by me at their bus stops and not let me on the bus because Satan is a sore loser. That's the reality. And that's Satan talking about cuckoo with a fake moon over the bus, okay? That's P.O.C. And this is the same one that didn't want to let me on the bus because she's mad because I'm revealing her condition, which is one who was stalking in bathrooms, sexually violating while she's stalking under a fake sun, because that's not sunlight, while she's talking about cuckoo. That's Satan, okay? That's P.O.C. It is currently 6:11 p.m. This is bus number 1268, by the way. I read the license plate already. And we have taken off at 6:12 p.m. This is employee number 3689. All right, this is the fat double chin one, which she's got a ponytail. She is engaged in P.O.C. and that's also documentation of what is criminal harassment. Saying what, and first of all, it's audible activity, okay? And directed light, like I show you on the bus, the state follows with its fake moon during the day with a fake sun, okay? And directed light fills the venue. You have what is 7BLA893. Engaging in what is the suggestion of some mental illness, and that's deduced from what is cuckoo, right? While she's listening to me, again, acting like she's not focused, closing the door as I get up to get on the bus, she's focused on me. That's Satan. That's a psychopath. That's also Satan, a psychopath that wants to infer that you suffer from some mental illness while you document the fact that they're a psychopath. Okay? That's the demonic character, by the way. Okay? This is the same demon, by the way, engaging in what is stalking in what is directed light. Okay? While you have double shadows, 5GJJ407, which is not caused by headlights. While you have what are double shadows, the shadows reaching across the street, that's not ordinary light. I've already established what this is, so you're understanding and understanding that policy that is serving to prosecute such demons, all right? Identified as omnitrans. Harassment because they're hostile to revealing what is incontrovertible, 8FFK689. All right, incontrovertible, which she cannot even spell. All right, it is currently 6:13 p.m. Monitoring at what is Sierra and Merrill Avenue. That's where I'm at. The Arco at Foothill. I've been to this venue. They're all lined up at the gas stalls monitoring. 8MAV871, 8FXV870, 7MCX885, 7HDK050. It is, by the way, 6:14 p.m. And that is the entity, by the way, the same entity that's stalking in bathroom stalls, engaging in what is criminal defamation. Those are ignoramuses that do that because that's the classic that's textbook P.O.C. And you're understanding what is the policy. So you have those who are ill-equipped to address or handle what is embarrassing, the fact that you are demon-possessing, you're a stalker, and you're a psychopath, while you keep your back to me, but you're focused on me, okay? And then you have what is textbook P.O.C. trying to suggest that somebody else has a mental illness when everything about your pattern of conduct is revealing you are out of your flipping mind, all right? While you engage in malicious conduct, you're a threat, all right? And engaging in defamation on behalf of the government, all right? That's going to end up in what is a straitjacket and or federal prison. License 8UWK924, 5WOX929, all right? This is an ignoramus driving a bus. And stalking somebody else, all right? Talking about cuckoo, all right? That's the P.O.C. WMT609. Like I said, they're a bunch of inferior demons. They're inferior. That's why they're all stalking me. And that's why I'm going to prosecute all of them together. They're inferior. Again, this is employee 3689. At least that's what the display says. I have this demon's image on camera. And the state is cycling directed light on the bus. All that's going to her prosecution. It is 6:15 p.m. It's the same exact P.O.C, so you're going to remember what she's saying, and you're going to prosecute. All right. License 5HDE 828. JJP 969. RVV 283 31873E1.
Holly Street.
Eight 5239G2. By the way, 6:18 p.m. At the intersection of Sierra Avenue and San Bernardino Avenue, and the state is aiming direct light all over the place, right onto the this shell gas at this intersection. They're monitoring the same thing you would do at Arco. Excuse me, at Arco. They're group stalking by sitting in traffic, group stalking at the surrounding venues, while the state is aiming directed light, just like you see during the day. Directed light all over the buildings is what the state is doing right now. Okay. And I'm a prosecutor. I want you to remember that when these demons engage in that audible activity creation, that's why I keep bringing it up, because I'm a prosecutor with it. I'm going to prosecute them with it. And the entire entity is documenting as speaking through the mouth of this ignoramus. All right. 7MSZ350. All right. License X655KO 6UKN086 8FAJ 369 8VHW 660 8 RFS 704. And it's currently 6:20 p.m. And they're all monitoring with this driver whose employee number I read already. 8GRJ 826, and every demon that's on this bus, they're all monitoring together with communication devices. It's 6:21 p.m. at Mallory Drive in Juniper. License BT20X70 paper 8BXH486 8WEP278, and it's currently 6:22 p.m. This is at the light of San Bernardino Avenue in Juniper. They're just holding up traffic. They're just monitoring. Just like this demon is. But let me tell you what informs you. Out of the mouth of Satan, they betray themselves. They betray themselves. All right, and it's audible activity. That's what matters. You prosecute them with that. Let's see, 8 YO1593 at Juniper and San Bernardino Avenue.
Cypress Avenue.
We are at, I think we're at San Bernardino Avenue in Cypress right now at 6:23 p.m. JUZ051. I can't see that one. At 6:24 p.m. 7XDW625. And I think we're at San Bernardino Avenue and let's see. This is I don't know what the cross street is. 61923A2. Alright, so the video that I've already documented for it before. For example, we were driving through, the demon that works for Omnitrans was driving through the venue that was specifically Ontario Airport, which is a state facilitating venue, 3779683, 7EHJ677, 8RQE251. And what I was showing was 8JKK659. And they're creating light right here at San Bernardino Avenue and Citrus. You have what is directed light, which I was showing you was moving through the center of the bus, okay? That's exactly what is ongoing right now. I've already shown you that method of directed light on the venue of the bus, which is not occurring from street lamps. They're not aiming horizontally at an angle in the middle of the floor on the bus and moving toward the bus, the front of the bus. That's directed light. While you're listening to the audible activity of a scared demon who is engaging in what is criminal defamation, speaking to what is cuckoo, all right, while she's focused on me, all right, and engaging in what is targeted harassment. That ongoing documented directed light is present on the bus as well. And let me remind you, that's employee number 3689. It is currently 6:25 p.m. I read that one already. Got this one. Yeah, I read that one already. Alrighty, it is currently 6:26 p.m. We do remain on San Bernardino Avenue. This is documentation of what is not only the P.O.C, but you have what are acts of obstruction of justice. That's what criminal defamation is. The entity that you're documenting, and it's such a pattern that you create policy in order to prosecute. It's textbook P.O.C. And let me be clear, but for documentation, this is exactly what is the plan, the malicious intent of the people and the entity that is monitoring you to try to establish you as what is suffering from some mental incapacity. That's exactly what the court did or tried to do through a fictitious prosecution and repeated acts of kidnapping in order to do so. That's exactly what third parties have done as I document their audible activity, which is automatically published as I'm subject to federal stalking, which is ongoing surveillance by the government and the people. Everything they say. All right, it's a matter of criminal defamation. It is published to the masses. All the demons are monitoring 67299C3. It is entirely malicious, and it is facilitation of the government's pattern of conduct. And then where it's occurring, where you are under an indirect light while you're threatening the life of an American citizen that you are monitoring. 3779683 is turning on to Beach. I can't see that cross street, but they've been loitering in relevant position, monitoring in traffic, remaining on San Bernardino Avenue. We're at bus stop number 5876. And so you have what is the engagement in what is life-threatening conduct, all right, in violation of Title 18, Section 2261A, and literally a psychopath that uses even the bus itself as a means of engaging in what is the elements of monitoring. This psychopath, this demon, 6YEK249, used the bus, first of all, isolating me while this demon is keeping her back to me like she's not focused on me, but her simultaneity of closing me out and then not letting me on. That is showing also by the conduct of not letting me on after you let everyone else on, and then doing so, closing the door was simultaneous. The second that I got up to motion to get on the bus, you're focused on me. You're also focused on me because direct light is present, and that's how you are. That's a specific signature. You're a stalker, all right, and you're a demon-possessed one. While the state is stalking with a fake sun/fake moon and via aircraft over the venue, all right. You have what is the state engaging in what is the engagement of the criminal elements of monitoring in concert with the government that is threatening your life, and then engaging in trying to defame you. I want to be clear, that is the malicious conduct of the demon possessed, of Satan itself, which is a liar, okay? And that is speaking to the necessity of that policy, because this is textbook P.O.C. It comes out of the mouth, and this is what I mean by Satan betraying itself. You have literally the utterances that are identical, which are also unfounded upon documentation, all right? And not only that, this particular actor is heavily documented, even just today, okay? But heavily documented. This is a show of hostility, which is a terrorizing threat while you are stalking, because that's exactly what you're doing in the environment. While I'm on the bus, you are a stalker, all right? And you're engaging in what is defamatory conduct while you're monitoring and stalking one who is documenting it, and I'm going to prosecute you, all right? It is conduct of what is a psychopath, a demon-possessed one, that has lost life, by the way. You're talking about documentation, which is demon-proof, okay? While direct light is on the bus, while this demon is stalking with activity, as she opens the door after not letting me on the door, letting me onto the bus, in conflict with everybody else that she let on the bus, isolating me, all right? Pursuant to a demonic behavioral pattern, like I said, as I'm in operation of my phone, that is, it was logged onto the internet to show her my bus pass, so I put it on airplane mode because I'm waiting for the 9 minutes, and then as I put my phone in airplane mode, that's operation of my communication device, this overweight minion who works for a bus line that is a criminal enterprise operating on behalf of the government, engaged in satanic activity, the ultimate loser in life and in eternity. You have what is using the bus as a means of stalking with that audible activity, entirely focused on me the entire time, okay? As she opens the door and then lets me on, this is serving for what is activity creation. The lights on the bus come on with simultaneity to my operation of a communication device. It is P.O.C. All right. Like I said, it is currently 6:30 p.m. on San Bernardino Avenue, passing the C.S.I.S trucking, where they were documented this morning, this truck line, and turning onto what is, I believe, Calabash now. It is 6:30 on the dot. currently 7:03 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the Ontario Airport. State facilitating venue. State cycling consistently directed light on the venue of the bus and onto the surfaces all around. The bus has a shadow that is pacing, like I was showing you inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, 7VAK147. This is the shadow of the bus that's on the passenger side where I'm sitting, 8WIF619, and the shadow of the bus is perpetually moving forward. I've shown you this while I'm walking inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's directed light. All right, and also directed light is on the bus, on the ground, in the center, and like I've already shown in video as well. License plates, let's see. This Asian male is racing, keeping foot that is 8RVJ093. I believe, substantial somewhere. This is, 738K147. It is, by the way, 7:04 p.m. That was 8RVJ093, 18249F3. That's a shuttle. They're monitoring at the airport in directed light. RZN516. Let's see. That's so funny. Let's see. Bell cab 67062V2 is monitoring. 05716M2. Let's see. It is currently 7:06 p.m. All right, and so you have what is a buildup of relevant positioning. And you have all the demons that are on the grounds of the airport, many of them that are using hazard lights, right? And you have what is bell cab. So as you have trying to avoid documentation, this is just the tactics of the entity. They're creating light activity, and they're in a position where the mind state of a criminal, not going to be able to read their license plate. Bell cab is stalking in the path. A commercial actor that is monitoring while all those demons are lined up in relevant position in directed light using their hazards at the venue of the Ontario Airport. It is currently 7:07 p.m. They're one entity monitoring together. That is on your license 1535704, going what is eastbound right now at 7:09 p.m. Okay, this demon stalking with activity 8TCH949, 8BJY448 or 468, excuse me. They all pull up in traffic as they know that I'm not recording. Absolute psychopaths. License plate 7, and that is Satan in operation, okay, over a people, demon possessed stalkers. 7HLF436, 8TJE948, I believe. They're turning to drive east on Hope Boulevard. That's relevant positioning. They're in directed light, and also S.I.I.S, which is a restaurant at Vineyard and Holt, has flickering light. It's a facilitating venue. It's not a malfunction. This is the entity maintaining light activity. Stalking in the path is what it's referred to. It's how it's referred to, excuse me. And Ontario Police with 7MVX765 is crossing the path in the same directed light and light activity at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard. Ontario Police are on traffic cameras. They're driving north on Vineyard. 8LSL 859, monitoring and stalking with the Ontario Police. Ontario Police stalking with activity. That's a psychopath, a demon-possessed one that is stalking and listening to every syllable. And this is also what I documented the Ontario Police Department while I was in the city of Fontana, because those psychopaths that are violent sex offenders were engaging in what is sexually violent monitoring with the people of the state at the Ontario Over Family Community Library, which is covered in directed light inside and outside, where the state's fake sun remained in Ontario, as I visibly captured it over the 280 North Limit Apartments at 11:50 in the morning. And so I'm showing you what is in the city of Fontana, which is east of the city of Ontario, which I am no way able to capture if that was actually the sun over the 280 North Limit Apartments, for example, and directly in front of me, hovering over that apartment building, and then moving in real time as I walk toward the Ontario Police and capture those demons that were monitoring while my panties were down with the people of the state in the bathroom, under the fake sun and in direct light, replete with helicopter flying in a circle, which is the demonic behavioral pattern, and its relevant positioning, it's terrorism. And that is the same demon-possessed agency driving by in directed light with the employee who was a group stalker engaging in a show of hostility, threatening together. All right, this is the ongoing conduct and the ongoing analysis of that ongoing P.O.C. All right, engaging in defamation in the same exact environment and terrorizing and threatening with the Ontario Police Department while she's monitoring in concert with that agency. All right, it's P.O.C. It's currently 7:12 p.m. It is currently 7:12 p.m.
61 and 83.
And just want to document arrival at Lemon and Holt. Everybody on this bus is on surveillance camera and they're all monitoring with the state. And it's 7:16 p.m. Excuse me. Alrighty, and again, this is license plate 1399982. Okay, this is P.O.C. All right, that is audible activity while Omnitrans is at the opposite end at Sultana monitoring, and Omnitrans that I just got off of is monitoring that volume while I'm at Limited Holt. That's called amplification, and directed light is molesting my person. This is P.O.C. That is attributed to what is Union Pacific. You have a conglomerate, if you will, of commercial actors. Omnitrans with Union Pacific monitoring with the people. That's license 1399982, who was monitoring to that intentional creation of audible activity in an environment conducive for monitoring, which is the directed light. Okay, directed light is present all over. You have multiple shutters. I've shown you the light activity and documented multiple commercial actors, by the way. And that's what I'm documenting as I'm getting off the bus right now at 7:17 p.m. at Lemon and Holt Boulevard. Okay, that is P.O.C. And again, Omnitrans Route 61 that I read their license plate 1535707, crossing path at Vineyard and Holt. Molesting with directed light while I'm on the bus doing so. 8WLG198. This is another Route 61 that's loitering in relevant position at the bus stop at the B&G Plaza. Okay, understand there are criminals. They just engage in using any buses, as I have thoroughly shown. They are stalking and monitoring using nothing but a bus. Okay, just like this one is stalking and monitoring using license plate 6POS378. And that's all you're doing. When you're stalking with a fake sun and fake moons and directed light, you're talking about an entire society that's centered on that which it would otherwise not want known. 03920Y2. All right? This is an entirely artificially engineered existence in the state of California. They are focused on particular people, and you have what is an entire criminal system to that end. An entire criminal system to that end. And you're talking about what is consumption, and that is necessarily the case. It is consumption with that system where you are, where I have shown you, okay, because that's what the state is doing. I've shown you what is stalking with a fake sun. Oh, everybody's engaged in it. Everyone is, okay? And it is that which is occurring on a ceaseless basis. Everyone is engaged in it at all times, and this is what the government and the people are consumed with. TORRIE, and that sound that you heard, that is an Omnitrans bus, amplified in audible activity, a demon on the opposite side of the street where the bus is facing the opposite direction, stalking with audible activity, focused on me, okay? That's the demonic behavioral pattern. The demons at Andy's Burgers, license 04791X2. 7E, hold on, let me get this one, 7FHJ955. 8WIN369. They're monitoring at Center ICE. They're in the parking lot. They know exactly where I'm at. I'm molested with directed light for their criminal purposes. They are monitoring. Union Pacific audible activity while they are monitoring in relevant position. 8YDC 798. 6 RDP 293. 6 AWE 667. 94573K1. 5 WRT 125. And I don't think I read this one. Let me see. 6 AWE 667. Yeah, I read that one. 7 LAK 952. 8 TPZ 734. And this one 5V QN 319. 8 LWG 003. 7 CDD 156. 4 YFB 383. 6 BVU 360. 7 E84 972. 8 SRN 952. 8 CIZ 821. 8 TCY 546. 28170H1. 8 AKL 940. 4 SPN 300. 7 RAU 946. 6 NIY 566. In case I didn't read that one. I don't think I did. License plate. This looks like Texas. I'll get this one right now. PFJ 7951. 5 PFK 477. I read that one. 61876T2. 6 UIZ 386. 5 NJW 262. 6 UHW 559. 8 DDU 534. 8 TTG 211. It is currently, by the way, 7:22 p.m. All right, license. Group stalking on transit. Stalking on the back street with their headlights on. 8 PIZ 439. Let me go get these demons over here. Let me show you what stalking is. Sitting in the dark, just like they were at the village at Sierra. Sitting in the dark, okay? With headlights on. That's called stalking with light, and that is a demon that is doing that. Understand that. All right? And that identical conduct is entirely abnormal. The context is already provided. It's not existing outside in the abstract. It's within what is an ongoing documented pattern and in an environment. They're demons stalking with light, sitting around in the dark, stalking, knowing where I'm walking. 7XVO 153, 6 HOP 028. All right, and you have more demons that come over here and park as I notice them and start to get their license plates. 7 MPV 889. This is documentation of what is terrorism by the demon possessed. They're cockroaches, okay? License. 7XVL 153 is pacing in directed light, okay? The vehicle has multiple shadows and they are driving back and forth. That's a demon that's pacing. License 61876T2. And this one that's sitting in the darkness, that little coward that knows exactly what I'm saying, hops out of his vehicle and more demons come and join as I document that. 8YQW466. It is no form. It is the ongoing terrorism by the demon possessed who are stalking. This is the same entity that crouches in toilet stalls stalking me. Okay? This is P.O.C. YETIMAN. I'll go ahead and get all of these license plates. License 6BCE173. 7XVL153 gets out of their vehicle. That is an Asian male, I believe, wearing a light gray hoodie. 6XRW334 and blue jeans, white tennis shoes. 7MBR594 sitting in the vehicle monitoring to that Union Pacific train activity, to the demons who joined down there at that end of the street. All right. 8RCP338, I believe. Can't really see the rest of that one. 8DXN614. 4WNL161, BADDADA, 8WES552. This third-party facilitating venue, Center ICE, 7YGB620, 6YXT671, 7UCP043, 7BOH986, 6BCE173, 6PVL041, 6CQW672, BZF8397. That is, I don't know what street that state that is. It says Alberta on it. I don't know what that is. 8YYS 898, 8LZE 494, TNKRBE1 is a demon-possessed psychopath referring to themselves as Tinkerbell. I don't think Tinkerbell's a stalker. 7ESW 957, 8WFT 283. Tinkerbell is an animated creature, though, and much like a cartoon environment like that demon is. 8UJX 577, 8PEM 439. 6RMK 929. Pay attention to the targeted contact. I am in Center Ice parking lot. The state is flying all the way over here, not over the BG Plaza. 8X4480, 8PNP444, 8FXK 875, 5RNC 834, 8XGG008, BU09B59 paper, 7EKB 796, 7RCD 631, 6PTG039, 8MKL 436, 8KZD 722, 6VVD 697, 8MNP 717, 7XWM 454, 8EUU 688, 5CLC 127, 8YXN 386, 8JYE 524, 8CTD 853, 8YXN 386, 6CYC 753, 6RZX 455, 5XMX 957, 8SPX 886, AX19J12 paper, 8ULP 466, 8VHF 974, BWM 8155, 25604M1, 8VEP 939, 8HBC 377, 6YCE 961, 2823, 8E3, 6ZBH 401, 7BZG 981, and 7HMP 850 molesting. 8YBV467 is a sex offender molesting with that. And this fat, white, triple chin heifer is monitoring while that sex offender touches me from behind with directed light. And you also know that they're stalking because the state stalking activity centered on where I'm located in the parking lot of Center Ice, which is across the streets on the backside of the B&G Plaza. The state is no longer hovering over B&G Plaza. The state is flying over what is essentially the train tracks adjacent to the Center Ice. That is the targeting conduct by the state. These are indeed demons that are lining the path, aware of what I am identifying and noticing, and then like cockroaches crowding to that location, which is providing no form. All right, but you see the cockroach conduct, right? That's how they engage it. Oh, well, they're not the only ones sitting over there. We're all parking over here. They're all in directed light. They're all in relevant position. They're all stalking as one. 6WYV065. These demons don't have any form anymore. So you're understanding the conduct of psychopaths. 8YZY401 who have are relying on, and you see it how it is literally falling on deaf ears now because you're understanding the way that the system operates. It relies on group conduct. That group conduct is in every way that which is supposed to be instrumental. You have what is, let me be clear, demons engage in group conduct. Demons act as groups. They don't act individually, by the way. These are demons as they are engaged in that sort of conduct, piling up around the traffic area while I'm identifying a group stalker that's sitting in the path, maintaining. You have what is a whole bunch of them all arrive at the same time, and then the ongoing context, the state stalking directly is what tells on the people. That's why the prosecution starts with the entity. It's the entity's pattern of conduct. The state did not fly to my right where the B&G Plaza is. The state flew right over where I was at that back part of the Center Ice skating rink. Okay, that is very specific to where I am, and that is the ongoing documentation. Like I've said, I've already established it, but I'm also pointing out to you how you can know for your own self. What I am pointing out is a consistent pattern, okay? And that is speaking to what is their condition and what they're doing. And I'm also letting you know what's their intent as they do it, because I am have been exposed to what are demons and their conduct, their mindset. All right, it's demonic, and it is a matter of discernment. And I am also substantiating it with objective evidence that you can see with your own eyes. 8CLF 402, and which is demonstrated by an ongoing pattern. 6MPC 365. 6VNH 589. 5EKR 341. 6VWF 010. 6NQZ 133. And it is currently 7:29 p.m. I'm at Charles Liquor. All right, at arrival at Showers Liquor, I just want to take a picture of what is ongoing documentation of that demon-possessed stalker who engaged in harassment, who engaged in criminal defamation, and who was monitoring and molesting my person, all right? And then while the fake moon is moved from what was where I was at the Fontana Lewis following to the train station, the fake moon, is right over my head in front of Shiro's Liquor, all right? That is also speaking to what is the conduct that I just documented by a patch of cockroaches. They are demon-possessed. That is their spiritual condition. They are demons who are possessed with that demonic spirit, monitoring me, know exactly who I am, and engage in cockroach-like conduct, piling up while I identify one demon that is stalking in the path, in the darkness. And then you have all the rest of them that come and join. The fake moon is right over my head. 58KN227, following from, by the way, where I started in Fontana, present at the venue of the Shiro's Liquor in the city of Ontario. But it's not just Shiro's Liquor. It was present when I got off the bus, kept present in alignment with me as I was en route to the city of Ontario. All right, that is speaking to, again, the ongoing stalking activity by the people who are indeed demon-possessed, stalking altogether. And I'm revealing to you what are pathetic, disgusting, despicable cockroaches. All of them just maintaining presence, just like the packs of insects that they are. Okay, it's 7:31 p.m. ALEALM monitoring while I'm being accosted with directed light. They're on the opposite side of the freeway exit, and I'm being blinded. That's not their headlights. All right, I did take an image of that. That's a method of molestation while I'm in the vehicle, and the vehicle is monitoring in relevant position. I documented ALEALM. It is currently 7:50 p.m. 51099M1. It's 7:54 p.m. 8KAC571. It's 7:56 p.m. 8UVS528. And this is a meaning that's in relevant position. The same entity engaging in molesting and trying to speed off at traffic lights and then driving forward ahead at a distance with their hazards on. They're pathetic demons. That's the same entity that's in relevant position getting off of what is the 10 freeway in Ontario. 8UVS528 is P.O.C. All right, it is currently 9 p.m. on the dot, and as I speak, you have what is the demon-possessed entity, the same one that I'm documenting by license plate after license plate, by commercial actor after commercial actor, following, stalking to the venue where I currently am in front of 630 North Fern, inside of a vehicle where these demons know exactly where I sleep, and they are stalking. And the state is aiming its directed light inside of the vehicle while they are stalking in the path, in concert with the government. Okay, it is currently 9:01 p.m. and that is the ongoing pattern of conduct. This entity stalking in the bathroom stall, stalking with an entire environment, stalking from venue to venue, including following and stalking to the location where this entity knows exactly where I'm sleeping. Okay, it is 9:01 p.m. and this is the P.O.C. It is 10:49 p.m. 8JIF592. You hear that volume of that? That's amplification. That's literally fake noise of a train. Indirected light. And also while the demon-possessed, that are the people of the state, are stalking via traffic, literally driving by while the state's aiming directed light all over. And that volume of the train, while I'm at 630 North Fern, you can not only not hear the train, also pay attention to the volume. That is the entity that is stalking, and that's demonic. That's the ongoing demonic environment. P.O.C. The demons that are monitoring while the state is creating that environment, they are adding to it, stalking in the path, monitoring with communication devices and direct light. 8JIF592, and I want to read these 21209C2. You're not going to hear the train. You're not going to hear the train on the tracks. You're not going to have that volume. I am literally at 630 North Fern, 6W53229, 8NAW854, and 8GLS248. And what you hear, traffic, those are demons that are driving by on G Street, monitoring systematically in traffic, 6YOX838. It is currently 10:50 p.m. And this is the ongoing stalking by an entity that is listening to everything I'm doing inside of a car, stalking. All right. In the same way you're looking at those what is the revealing of pathetic people who are stalking somebody, an American citizen that they are monitoring, stalking in bathroom stalls, stalking while I'm sleeping in a vehicle, all right? Stalking with every minor move that I am making, literally creating fake noise. It's fake noise because you hear it. It's real audible activity, but that is fake noise because you cannot hear the train. The state amplifies it inside of the vehicle with simultaneity to what I'm doing. That's entirely demonic. All right, this entity hovering over, and that same entity stalking in bathrooms, that same entity stalking through the demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, okay? It is permeated through every aspect of society. This is what the state of California is engaged in. It's 10:51 p.m., and this is P.O.C.